Never have I ever been on the sidelines, only front line. The line on the stat sheet going up with a timeline. Man, I'm big time. Playoff berth, I'm a midwife. Back to back, I don't win twice. All pro with it like 10 times. What I'm saying. All city, all state, now I'm on a world stage. I took a L, had a turn page. Maxed out, yeah, I'm worth wage. I'm on the top with it first place. God got me for real, never burn sage. I just burn flame with it, worst case. Got they hands tied like I'm Kirk Frank. It's prime time.
That's gonna be a double tilt first 30.
It's prime time. It's prime time.
이번 스킨의 핵심 테마는 무게를 견디는 챔피언들입니다. 단순히 승리한 팀이 아니라 압도적 기대와 무게를 이겨낸 팀이었기 때문이죠. 이 무게를 상징적으로 담아낼 수 있는 가장 적절한 세계관이 중세 유럽 판타지였습니다. 왕관, 기사, 권위, 그런 구조를 통해 Heavy is the Crown이라는 월즈 앤 썸턴과 맞물리게 되었죠.
번개의 신 제우스를 스킬 이펙트와 미니나를 분매랑에 넣었고요. 변신했을 때는 거대한 느낌을 주지만 그렇다고 또 너무 과하진 않게 잘 나온 것 같습니다. 강력한 짐승 같은 거대날의 번개의 힘이 흐르는 모습을 보여드리고 싶었습니다. 월즈에서 플레이한 제 스타일의 나르를 스킨으로 잘 표현해 주신 것 같아요. 나르한테 좀 안경을 씌워놨는데 좀 그게 재밌는 것 같습니다. 제가 월즈 우승하고 트로피에 머리를 한번 찌은 그런 사건이 있었었는데 그거를 귀한 모션에 잘 녹여주신 것 같습니다. 와, 살아있네, 메가나르가.
말을 하지 말고 맡기자. 그래서
저의 말을 들으면 들을수록 더 이상해지실 수도 있어요.
이 토템 목걸이에도 있는 호랑이를 디자인에 넣어달라고 요청했었습니다. 단순한 장식 요소를 넘어서 제 상징으로서 호랑이를 담을 수 있도록 무기 자체 디자인을 멋지게 해석해 주셨어요. 귀한 모션에서 유니폼을 이제 어깨에 걸친 형태를 제가 희망해가지고 제 아이덴티티를 최대한 많이 스킨에 넣고 싶었었습니다. 잘 나온 것 같습니다. 괜찮은 것 같은데요?
2024년 같은 경우에는 저희가 디펜딩 챔피언으로 다시 우승한 한 해이기도 하고 조금 무게감 있는 그런 스킨이 나오면 좋겠다라고 생각을 해서 그런 좀 그림자라든지 되게 좀 묵직한 느낌을 많이 주려고 했고요. 팀으로서의 그런 날카로움 같은 것들을 좀 많이 보여주려고 최대한 좀 뾰족하게 그런 것들을 잘 살렸던 것 같아요.
저는 그 귀한 모션 할 때 그 뭐 홀로그램처럼 그 추억이 나온다 했잖아요. 이번 월즈에 좀 서사가 있었습니다.
구마유시 선수의 제안은 제작팀에게 영감을 줬습니다. T1 스킨 제작 전반에 큰 영향을 끼쳤죠.
저는 스킨 전반에 회색, 흰색 톤을 최대한 활용하길 원했고요. 디자인은 약간 유럽 조각상처럼 조형적인 느낌이 들었으면 좋겠다고 말씀드렸어요.
회색, 막 흰색, 검은색 이렇게 해가지고 여기 유럽이니까 막 박물관에 그런 예술품들 그런 컨셉을 생각해요.
일단 개인적인 생각이라고 알려주세요. 모두의 생각이 아니고.
전체적으로 이번 스킨 시리즈가 무게를 견딘 자들에 대한 이야기인데 바로스는 그 무게를 겉으로 드러내지 않는
이미지나 스킨적으로만 표현했으면 좋겠어요. 뭐 숨은 의미 막 그렇게까지는 안 봐도 돼요.
빨간색 느낌이 되는 게 멋진 것 같고 스킬들도 좀 세 보여서 좋은 것 같아요. 그리고 제가 바로스 WQ로 바론 스틸을 좀 했었어서 귀한 모션에 바론 피냐타 이렇게 터트리는 것도 들어가 있고요. 크루아상도 제가 맛있게 먹었잖아요. 그 요소도 잘 살려주셨습니다. It's good.
되게 간지나고 멋지고 좀 진지한 분위기를 나타내는 느낌을 많이 원했던 것 같고,
간지나는 마스크를 쓰고 있었으면 좋겠어요.
멋진 마스크, 멋지고 스타일리시하게, 이제 또 요즘 사람이다 보니까는 좀 스타일리시하게 부탁드렸던 것 같습니다. 어깨 장식 같은 게 좀 뾰족뾰족하고 좀 높게 올라가서 이제 포인트를 줄 수 있으면 좋겠다고 생각했고, 무기 디자인도 더 날카롭고 긴 진짜 칼처럼 그런 형태를 이제 또 희망했습니다. 파이크가 살생부를 딱 펼치거든요. 그림을 자세히 보시면은 무슨 챔피언인지 이제 잘 알 수 있을 거예요. 파이크의 꽃이 또 이제 공 표시라고 생각하는데, 그런 표시들이 또 T1의 상징인 붉은색으로 이제 이펙트들 나오고, 그리고 좀 너무 붉으면 또 안 되다 보니까는 은색 같은 걸로 좀 같이 곁들여서 나왔는데, 제가 생각했던 것보다 훨씬 궁 표시가 예쁘게 나온 것 같아가지고 너무 만족합니다. 초월급인데 이 정도면?
이번에는 사일러스인데 여러분들이 또 결승전에서 저희 플레이를 많이 좋아해 주셔서 스킨이 나오게 됐는데요. 이번 스킨은 사일러스 스킨 중에 처음으로 양쪽 팔의 사슬이 서로 다르다고 합니다. 그리고 이펙트를 딱 봤을 때 되게 작정하고 멋있게 만들어 주신 것 같습니다. 더 어둡고 더 위압적인 느낌을 많이 살렸습니다. 교환 모션에서 왕관이 불타면서 해방되는 듯한 액션이 있는데, 그런 게 사일러스의 멋을 많이 표현한 것 같아요. 제가 파이널 MVP가 될 수 있게 많이 도와준 사일러스 프레스티지 스킨도 많이 사랑해주세요.
2024 월드 우승의 감동을
팬 여러분들이
다시 한번
느껴보셨으면 좋겠습니다.
감사합니다.
The blossoms fall, and the black rose rises. Do you feel like the heroes of this story? Coming to save the day. You're pawns in a game that's already been decided. You will fight, as good soldiers do.
I will seal you away once more.
Your age has passed, Duncan. Stay buried.
And you will fail, as mortals must. Your course was doomed the moment you left Demacia. And entered my world of thorns. Make your final stand. And see how your story ends.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final night of LCP in 2025, and it's a VCS derby. It's DINO going up against the Vikings. DINO, of course, the champions of the VCS. And unfortunately for Vikings, despite a pretty good effort here in the season finales, they do end up at that lowest spot out of all of our VCS teams, so do have to compete for this spot here in 2026.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one coming into it. It was a little bit dicey through the playoffs. Not for DINO, unfortunately, for pretty much every other team in the competition that went up against DINO. I mean, you look at that bracket run that they did have. Well, the top side of that upper bracket was a forfeit, so it was just a straight shot into the finals against DINO, which is not a lot of preparation in all reality. And then, yeah, not a single map dropped by DINO all the way through that VCS finals bracket. So they've had a pretty good run of it. Issues, of course, have plagued them on their way to the Pro Morello's tournament. Player couldn't make it. Then they said, "Oh, we'll get our top sub to then fill in for that role." And then another player couldn't make it, or that player couldn't make it rather. So they've gotten another player, Samba, who is actually Reject's bot laner.
Yeah, so from the LJL.
Yeah, who obviously you remember QT Dig upset them to get that spot in Pro Morello. So
made his way here.
Yeah, he got here at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, here's a Korean player playing over in the LJL. Now, while that wouldn't be too conducive of having a good communication here for the VCS team, Pout, their mid laner, is also Korean. So at least there is going to be that familiarity where those two can converse in Korean. And luckily, League of Legends, you can get it quite a lot expressed through pings. So I imagine
there is a lot of emotions
that
that can be expressed through pinging if ranked games or anything to go by. Although I feel like it'd probably be a little bit more of a positive attitude, or at least proactive attitude this time around.
Absolutely. Obviously, the Vikings playing in the LCP, they have been pretty good all year round, realistically. They have Shogun in the bot lane alongside Styled, and then, of course, Kratos, Guri, Cardi, and Seolong. Seolong starting off the year and continuing on throughout the year, creating unique ways to look at how the game is played, obviously on that support. More recently, just sticking around in that bot lane when the lane swaps are coming through to hold the way for his top laner. It's something that then started to be utilized by the likes of CFO and PSG going through into the playoffs. But they are a very creative team. They're a very, very aggressive team. And DINO, who have been playing in the VCS, you'd have to imagine, are much the same. Going to be quite aggressive. Now, how leveled is that aggression? Because Vikings of late have found a way to sort of level it out and not be over-aggressive when they shouldn't be. And honestly, again, they played very well in the season finals. It's just unfortunate 3 VCS teams means they do have to send someone to the regional merit slot, and that was the Vikings. It's going to be a very, very tough series for DINO.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting for sure. I mean, you look at the side of DINO's, their support, I'm still not 100% sure how to say it, B, it could be any 3, was on Vikings last year for the second half, and then was obviously, he leaves, Seolong then comes in that support role, so is fairly experienced with them, has also been to Worlds with both Garm and Wales, of course, a hugely experienced name in that Saigon Dino's roster, in him, and a core member of the VCS as well. Like you said, Pout is coming through, who has played in and around the LCKCL, the academy teams, so a huge amount of experience in this roster that could potentially allow them to get that one up on the Vikings here today.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, the issues that have plagued them, bringing in new AD carry, there isn't going to be the same level of cohesion you have to imagine that Vikings should have. I mean, we're coming in, DINO and Vikings both being from the VCS means, again, they're probably going to be quite aggressive. But when you are playing a more aggressive game of League of Legends, generally how cohesive you are, where you are on the map, how well you're able to express your intentions are going to be very, very important. And you just have to come in thinking that Vikings should have that all pretty well worked out when compared to DINO. I mean, I'm coming in, I don't know the most about DINO, I'll be completely honest, but watching the Vikings throughout the LCP and just the issues, unfortunately, that DINO have faced lead me to believe this is probably going to be a 3-0, although likely a very exciting one.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the vast majority of this Saigon Dino's team has at one point played on either Garm or Wales or even Vikings at certain points throughout their competitive history. So they are, at least will be very, very familiar with these other VCS players. I don't know how much of a leg up the Vikings and the LCP are going to have. Obviously, it's a lot of experience against very, very capable teams. And, I mean, you look at Vikings able to take down PSG Talon, yes, with an asterisk, but that's still a pretty significant achievement in its own right to relegate them into the lower group through that split 3. So I think Saigon Dinos have a decent chance at taking this away, especially with the caliber of bot lane that they've brought in December. It's the lack of preparation time that could bite them, though.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Panda. We are going to go to the right fist bump. We'll be back very shortly.
have I ever been on the sidelines, only front line. The line on the stat sheet going up with a timeline. I mean, I'm big time. Playoff berth, I'm a midwife. Back to back, I don't win twice. All pro with it like 10 times. What I'm saying, all city, all state. Now I'm on a world stage. I took an L, had a turn page. Maxed out, yeah, I'm worth wage. I'm on the top with it first place. God got me for real, never burn sage. I just burn flame with it worst case. Got they hands high like I'm Kirk Frank. It's prime time.
That's gonna be a double kill for 30.
It's prime time. It's prime time.
Oh, the misty scenes of Taipei here, setting the scene for what will be our very last best of 5 here in the year of 2025. It's a VCS derby to round us out, and almost cinematic that it is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be hard to beat the VCS atmosphere with the VCS team playing in front of a home crowd. It's probably not going to have the same level of response in Taipei in all VCS matchup, but these guys always put on a show. The Vikings, Team Seagull Isles, GARM always pull out some hugely impressive stuff on game day, and I'd imagine that that's exactly the same case for the likes of the Saigon Dinos.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one thing that's always the most exciting, arguably, about these VCS derbies is you kind of get a lot of interesting picks come through. That's the most likely series, I think, that we've had that we're going to see some less than common picks, you know, coming through, whether it be mid lane, jungle, whatever it may be. But they're very willing to experiment in general. That goes for both the Vikings and, I imagine, Saigon Dino.
Absolutely.
Guri.
Yeah.
One of the really big talking points about this roster has been Guri at many stages of this year. I mean, some of the performances on the likes of Viego, which not everyone has been able to make work, really only himself and Histo to speak of, but has been phenomenal on the champ.
Absolutely. I mean, Cardi coming in, I would not say that he's had a bad year. In fact, I think he's held his own pretty darn well for the most part. In fact, this entire Vikings roster has held their own for the better part of this year. And unfortunately, against those better opponents, they do come out worse off. But it's not an easy road for those top 4 teams when that comes up against a team like this. But the Saigon Dinos have not had as much competitive experience this year. Obviously, the VCS going on much in the same vein as the PCS, but it's about getting that deeper level of experience, that higher level of competition, and this is that first step towards it for these Dinos.
Absolutely. It's a rough step to have to try and take on the Vikings, who, again, our 5th place team. They're no slouches. Only really here just by virtue of being so many VCS teams in the league.
So now we're all evened up.
Yeah, we are, yeah. And we'll remain evened up, of course, as this will just be a replacement of VCS teams at worst for them. But I'm in for the Vikings coming in. I have full confidence in them, realistically. I mean, they were competing with Team Secret Wales for who was going to be here. Team Secret Wales ending up finishing 2nd was going to be hard pressed. I mean, Vikings would have had to have won the entirety of the LCP to have avoided being here based on how Team Secret Wales did. And even then, that would have given all of VCS a free ticket out, and it would have been, I believe, at that stage, DFM would have been playing in
the regional merit spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting year for the Vikings, of course. Season kickoff, they get hugely innovative and run that duo mid lane in the lane swap meta that we were experiencing then. Obviously, then that big change happens going into the mid-season. They lose a lot of that identity. They seem to be a little bit rudderless going through that mid-season. Not playing badly, but their macro game, their overall strategy definitely seemed to have taken a hit. But then they come into that season finals, they figure out who they are, how they want to approach the game, and they really start taking this dominant stance in the competition. I mean, look, for my money, they are solidly competing around 4th, 5th. I don't know if they can quite crack into the top 3 at the moment, but they are still pushing those top teams to the absolute limit in some of those games.
Yeah, I mean, PSG came 3rd, and they were 2-0'd by Vikings not 2 weeks prior to that, right? So they definitely can on a good day. The problem they tend to have is that they're very up and down, where one week they come in looking fantastic, the next week a little shaky. Here, they're going to be starting with Shogun. Important to note, they do have Styled as an AD carry substitution that can possibly come through, and quite often of late have they utilized that. Be interesting to see if they do. I mean, honestly should be the role in which Vikings succeed in the most by virtue of Samba not having a single game experience with the side of Saigon Dinos. Now, important to note, I did find out some information prior to the series that the reason they ended up kind of getting Samba so easily was that Pout is actually very good friends with him. So because they have that friendship already established, it made it, I imagine, a little bit easier for them to persuade Reject to allow him to look for this opportunity. And it also should mean there will be some synergy between mid and AD carry already existing, although not necessarily the two roles that combine to do a whole lot for the team outside of obviously pumping out damage when it comes to those big moments.
Yeah, I mean, Pout, so integral to this roster, but also, I mean, has had some crazy experience. Like I said, has played through the LCK, had a spring in LPL in 2023. He's got to play for Ninjas in Pajamas, so has had some top caliber experience playing this game and could really put Cardi through his paces today.
Kai'Sa going to be locked in for Shogun. First pick rather on the blue side is not typically where we see Kai'Sa's coming out, but going to feel confident in it, I suppose. Can pair it with an engaged support here as Nico's removed, so you don't get that optimal pairing.
Absolutely, but I mean, you can pretty standardly default towards the likes of the Nautilus pairing with the Kai'Sa goes very, very well. Rise locked in for Pout, and someone who's played through the LCK and LPL picking up a Rise, that's confidence, and you know he can back it up.
Yeah, for sure. See what they pair alongside it. Pretty much any ganking jungler will do the trick with Jarvan, Wukong, and Vi removed. It does leave the likes of the Pantheon, the Xin Zhao that stand out, and you do have the option for the Trundle, but with what's being shown so far, it doesn't feel the greatest, so Xin Zhao is going to be that lock-in. So there is a natural pairing there where the root comes through. Xin Zhao has a pretty easy time landing that W, gets himself in there, and can be quite destructive as a duo.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and we saw it put to great use, but you look at that setup for this Kai'Sa already developing across the rift for Cardi, the Galio, for Kratos, one of his best champions throughout this competitive year. It bodes a scary picture, and for Samba, you're going to want something that has a little bit more security, a little bit safety. You're not looking for something along the lines of a Jhin or a Varus in this game because it becomes very, very hard to play.
Yeah, Varus really falling off the tier list. Haven't seen it at all during pretty much the entirety of this. Great pickup for Sparta here, the Shen. We've seen this used as a counter pick against the Ambessa time and time again. Obviously, the utilization of that ult becomes very easy. Whoever gets hit by that public execution, just drop the ult on them, and they remain pretty safe from whatever Ambessa's trying to do. Of course, this time round, however, if you ult in as the Shen, you're probably going to have a Galio landing on you too. So it isn't as simple as that, but it definitely does provide some great defense against the Ambessa.
Absolutely. And Kai'Sa, Samba's most played, Samba's most played champion this year. So taking that away in the hands of Shogun, he's been very capable on as well. Nocturne, the VCS specialty, going to be banned away from Guri. Poppy, the response, taken away. Again, I'm just going to go with B.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Absolutely. Probably ask for confirmation on that. Braum going to be the final ban. I mean, yeah.
Galio and Bess are shown. It does get value.
For sure, and you don't really want to pair the Braum alongside Kai'Sa, so I was going to say it would also be good for Vikings this game, but actually, come to think of it, not really. So picked now to come through for DINO, looking towards that bottom lane specifically. See if Samba goes for his champion here. It usually makes the most sense to just pick up the AD carry and allow the counter pick for your support. The only exclusion of that generally is the Xayah, and they will have their option to pick the Xayah. So they take away the Rakan first, a great pairing alongside the Ambessa and Galio. They're going to get it for themselves, and now this opens up for a Xayah that you can pick against it, right? You can go for a mage support, the likes of the Karma, that makes the lane phase a little annoying for the Xayah, but in reality, it's not a pick that you want to pair alongside the Kai'Sa, so pretty well aware it should just be an engaged support coming through. Makes this a really solid draft.
Kiana for Guri in the jungle. I think it's a really smart pick, the Rakan. You don't have to show that 80 carry immediately, and it gives you that little bit of a buffer to say, are we absolutely sure? What do they pick? That's that 4th and 5th phase, and then if they get, pick their champions, make you feel confident that the Xayah is going to be quite comfortable. You just slam that in.
Yeah, it would make sense here. I think Xayah looks like a really good chip. You could also go for the angle of the Sivir. The Sivir doesn't look terrible here either, where there's, a little bit of pressure coming onto it, right, the Ambessa, but if you are able to spell shield the ult, which is very telegraphed, you are going to feel pretty safe. Yeah. But no, the Xayah, I think, a really good, one of the best Xayah games I have seen this entire year for Samba.
Yeah, 3 games played on it. for him so far with under reject, all 3 of them victories. So I think, yeah, quite happy to play this one. And it's a pretty foolproof combo between the Xayah Rakan. It's not wildly complex. It's pretty foolproof. You got that added safety of the duo. And you can really, really punish what is a fairly melee-heavy draft so far.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the most, I guess, played matchups in the history of League of Legends in terms of these AD carries is Kai'Sa versus Xayah. And the reason why is that, I mean, obviously back in Season 9, those were pretty much the only 2 AD carries getting picked, but also they just match each other in terms of their range. So in terms of the laning phase, it's a very much skill-based, right? There's counterplay around things, like if you're in that 1v1 isolated Kai'Sa versus Xayah, well, who's going to use, if Kai'Sa uses the Killer Instinct first, then the Featherstorm could possibly come through and with the Blade Caller color down, but also on the other side, if Xayah is forced to use that Featherstorm, then you can use that Killer Instinct to get behind her. So there is a lot of counterplay between the two, a lot of hands gap that can happen, but there's no natural advantage for either.
Yeah, well, I mean, say no natural advantage, talking about the players themselves. So Samba coming in, this will be his 4th play. He's played it 3 times, 100% win rate, 6.7 KD. You want to find out what's on the other side of that coin? Well, of course, it's Shogun playing his Kai'Sa. It has a 100% win rate and a 23.0 KD.
And in a vastly more difficult league as well. In any case, we are now loaded onto the Rift for game number 1. The final best of 5 for the year here in the LCP. It's going to be Saigon DINO going up against the Vikings, the VCS derby, one that we haven't had the pleasure of seeing yet this year.
Absolutely. Oh, coming into it, there's a lot brewing. Of course, some great picks. I think the Dinos have got themselves into this matchup. The Shen is going to do absolute bits in trying to play into that Galio. Hero's entrance comes down, but with the Sand United, and we are going to see Shogun opt into that lane swap. Oh, these League of Legends pros will always find a way to bend the rules.
They will. Change coming through, of course, for Worlds, announced recently, where the lane swap timer has extended on top side from 3.5 minutes to 4, which will mean you are left isolated as that AD carry if you do look for this just that little bit longer.
Yeah, classic. Classic. They'll always find ways to sort of change things up, bend that rule as best as possible, but Silong and Kratos returning to lane. Crash down on the B. Kratos more worried about getting these last hits, and Silong's going to be punished for it.
Absolutely. Silong taking a massive chunk of damage.
So far, Sparta navigating the lane just a little bit better, but in that lane swap situation, it's marginal at best.
Yeah, and it's also partly because it's a 2v1 down here versus just the 1v1 up on the top side.
Absolutely. Already, Silong's on his way out.
Yeah, keep in mind, 3.5 minutes is the timer for when lane swap detection comes through. So right now, if he does go up to that top side, it will be to the detriment of Vikings.
I imagine it's just going to be that establish that vision on the top side. Yeah, he's just going in, chucking that vision down in Tom Rio's jungle. Get that little bit of extra security once that time does tick over, but he's still going to be a lot of dead time for him here.
Yeah, not the worst. Well, at last make his way up to this top side.
That is going to mean that classic XP differential with supports. And, okay. Not a bad trade back, we said none from Kratos in the end. Courtesy of that tower assistance. Could be problematic with Tom Rio on the bot side and no vision to tell them he's coming. He does opt in for a tower dive potentially.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they actually looked for this lane swap. I don't think that Kai'Sa Ral suffers all that much into the Xayah Rakan. Should be a reasonably even lane, but there might be an argument to be made that because there has been literally 0 time spent together for this Dino roster, in particular for Samba, that going for something like this is going to put them a little bit less coordinated. Now, full HP Ambessa is going to get knocked up, isn't going to be able to make his way out. Samba looking for that first blood, will be able to pick it up, but B is unfortunately going to claim the credit.
Yeah, I think unfortunately you didn't have that time to comfortably hand it off to Samba. Or Tom Rio, you just wanted to get it and get out, given that 2 flashes in the end were burnt either side of DINO, but they get the kill in the end. Kratos, I mean, to his credit, nearly navigates it pretty cleanly, unfortunately. Knocked up by Tom Rio, then grand entrance in from B. It's just too hard to stick around. Maybe if he flashes a little bit. Oh no, he did flash in the end. Potentially could have stuck to the tower a little bit more, dragged them in and made something off the back of it. Either way, far from the end of the world.
Mid lane remaining relatively even. We saw yesterday how much a Rise can impact the game if given free reign to scale. Show putting an overload through the heart of Oceanic fans in that game 3.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But we persist, we rebuild, we look to next year.
I guess also, back to the fact lane swap came through, it is the Vikings.
Yeah.
Any opportunity, just the slightest sniff of a chance to lane swap and they're taking it.
Yeah,
it was where they found the most success this year, of course.
I do rate it. It's borderline psychological warfare. It's anything that they can do to try and throw off that momentum of their opponent and just jar them a little bit. Not to mention, it just gives them that little bit of a step up when it comes to map prio.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, Guri going to get caught out here, but does make his way over that wall, away from that Rise ultimate. Nothing to be found. DINO, a little bit of aggression, but still, just going to be able to navigate it reasonably well. Oh, Guri.
Absolutely.
A pretty substantial lead already found itself on the side of DINO. Up almost 1k gold off the back of 1 kill and just superior laning.
Yeah, I mean, literally half of that lead is in the pocket of B, which just does mean that that redemption comes up a little bit sooner.
Yeah, very impactful.
Speaking of, he does get caught there a little bit.
Well, obviously you'd prefer that gold to be on Samba. Getting a redemption early is nothing that bad.
Absolutely.
I'd almost argue that it's one of the best one-item power spikes in the game, hence why even the tank supports are just building it every single game.
Except for our matches the last couple of days where it's been Locket first, interestingly enough. But either way, yeah, early redemption means that they can just be a little bit more liberal when it comes to team fighting time. That's always very, very good for these VCS rosters. Especially with the team fighting comp that Vikings have drafted for themselves.
Yeah, very much so. But again, I mean, very good team fighting comp, but Xayah pretty much shuts it down entirely. I really do rate the Xayah pick. It will be an AP Kai'Sa, which makes the Xayah pick a little bit more annoying because obviously those Void Seekers well outrange every champion in the game.
Yeah.
But not for a while until those are actually hitting hard.
Absolutely. I mean, I think potentially the big problem is for Samba is that big wombo combo. Well, Samba, yes, and the Xayah can avoid it. The rest of the team doesn't have that same luxury.
Well, kind of, but the Rakan is going to be hard-pressed to be locked down, and Xin Zhao also has his disengage, so I actually think that's a pretty good time.
It's a good draft, but if Vikings can find an avenue to just completely ignore Samba and just block the rest of the team, once that Xayah's isolated, not nearly as powerful, does...
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they have the tools to do that. It's very, like one-person damage, right? Counter ult maybe, but if that's hitting multiple people, something's gone wildly wrong.
It's very situational, and a lot of fighting in the jungle with those choke points where the abilities that Vikings have drafted themselves get the most value. I mean, those choke points with a supreme display of skill and a hero's entrance, it's kind of hard-pressed to play a team fight.
Ooh. Nice dodge there from Sparta. Going to get that taunt under that tower as well. Means Guri's going to be tanking it up, but unfortunately for him, with 4 members down to that bottom side, Sparta is going to be taken out pretty swiftly. And there's a kill going over to Guri now.
Yeah, the assassin in the jungle accelerated. You're always happy with that. Tom, though, is going to take the opportunity to start up this dragon. Already got 2 grubs. So macro game's going well. Oof.
Not going to be able to get in range. Oh, it does eventually, but unfortunately, Samba doesn't have the tools to follow up on it. So this is just going to be that flash away from Shogun. A good pickup, and it is going to be the dragon as well here for DINO. So winning out early for the time being. Now the VCS upcomers, I guess we'll call them.
VCS contenders.
Yeah.
Or no, would they'd be breakthrough, wouldn't they? Yeah, technically. Oh. I've had stun there onto 2, but yeah, I think that potentially things got a little bit more comfortable in that tower dive if the public execution does connect. Fortunately, just a little bit off the mark. The Spider steps forward, avoids it, but with the amount of HP that was then lost after the fact, they couldn't really turn around and contest the dragon. Not to mention the big abilities dropped to try and make that play happen.
Absolutely. Now, very happily scaling up here. Completely undisturbed, essentially. There's also the 2 grubs were found by DINO as well. So leaving this 3rd one for the Vikings. Interestingly, I mean, not something we've seen a lot of out of our promotional tournament. It's something that we quite often saw in just the regular LCP, where teams will take the 2, leave the last one, don't really have the biggest interest in it. But here, between Vikings and DINO, it is going to be back to what has become the norm of the region.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much every team in the top 5 is averaging 2 grubs a game. For the LCP, it was less for the bottom 3, but that's purely because they were just getting monstered most of the time.
Knock-up lands onto Kratos, but not going to be quick enough with the double daggers and the Blade Caller to actually stun him out. Very mobile, of course, on the Ambessa.
Oh, post 6 tower dives, always fun with an Ambessa involved. Don't imagine they'll want to try and mess around with it, given how many times in the LCP we've seen that go horribly. And supportal combat.
Yep, the battle we've all been waiting for. Ral versus Rakan.
Yeah.
That shield's gone.
Ooh.
Looking for Sparta. A good flash away from that stun, but unfortunately a lot more to come through here for Guri. Sparta still trying to find his way out. We'll be able to block out those auto attacks, still remaining relatively high in HP, but will eventually be CC'd enough and taken out by Guri, who now gets himself a 2nd.
Yeah, I mean, you love, oh lord.
Sealong is gone. Does manage to get himself the ultimate off. Featherstorm there, but Shogun in the thick of things isn't going to be able to find anything at all. It's Samba's going to lose the sums and ultimate, but still find themselves a kill.
Oh, Kratos, I don't know how far you want to step up. They're going to stick around. Oh, what a great vision control from DINO.
Yeah, still does have the ultimate, still does have the flash. He's going to be able to use that ultimate and get himself out through Tom Rio. Quick thinking out of Kratos, gets himself free.
Yeah, I mean, definitely one of the more consistent Ambessa players in the LCP has Kratos been. And it is that vision control that allows the play up on the top side and then subsequently the play down on the bot side. Unfortunately, Ambessa a little slipperier than a Shen. Especially with just the CC machine that is a Kiana and Galio.
Yeah, not really anywhere you could run, unfortunately, Sparta. And Sealong does live longer than I expected him to.
Yeah. They do drop pretty much everything to make that happen. So it means that there's no real avenue for them to successfully gank Kratos. I say gank, kill Kratos.
Samba here in his first appearance in the LCP. Trying to qualify through the LJL and here through the VCS. 1-0-1 on the Xayah so far. Down a reasonable amount of minions, however, which means despite the kill advantage is actually down 500 gold on Shogun, who is performing about as expected, really, on the Kai'Sa.
Yeah,
doing
very well. Differential and the cull finished up as well. Shogun's been pretty good at making the most of those culls throughout this league. And Sealong, oh!
Yeah, just gets caught by the root, does have the crash down, so gets himself away, but costs him a lot in terms of that HP. And seemingly building towards the locket here on the Ral.
Yeah, this is something we've seen Shilong do pretty consistently, which is just catch those waves for his solo and bot lane up. Make sure that they can get the most out of it. Yeah. Will be punished for it somewhat, but does allow Shogun to get in and means he doesn't miss a single one of those minions.
Should we have some speculation?
I mean, we can if you want.
Well, Riot have been pretty outspoken about how there are changes coming in the LCP for 2026.
Yeah.
So what do you think is something? Or let's go with what's a change you'd like to see?
I mean, after last night, I think there's a chance we see more maid outfits, which would be a bit odd in the arena. I don't know. I'm keen to see how the format evolves going into next year. Obviously, Fearless Draft has been, I think, a very interesting adaptation to the competition. And this TP is just going to be getting in, getting out. Totally fine.
Yeah, not much hope of locking down the Rakan. Very nimble and the best of times, even more so when paired with the Xayah. Good trade from Shogun though, finding that a Cathian Rain isolated onto the health bar of the Xayah. Tom Rio is going to find his way here. Oh no, going the wrong direction there with that Kiana ult. Is Guri going to be able to find his way out? Shen's in there. That's going to be one very dead Kiana. That's going to be one very dead Rel. And that's going to be DINO going up 4-2 in kills.
Oh, that could have been magical for Guri. But unfortunately, he just sends that supreme display of skill the wrong direction and turns into a bit of a nothing burger, unfortunately.
It's going to mean that DINO get themselves a second dragon here, putting themselves in a fantastic position, while gold does remain relatively even. Objectives well and truly favoring the side of DINO, and it will mean that they get themselves those feats of strength as well.
Absolutely. Oh, it almost turned into something great. Ward control, great vision control across the rift from the Dinos so far in this opening game. Great catch onto Sulong. And then if Guri lands this, gets the stun off, there's potentially an angle for Shogun to come in, but unfortunately, then you'll remember there's a Shen and a Rise both in play. All of a sudden,
happy.
You can see what it means, and we saw it for the backstage crew of the DCG gang as well.
And I've had confirmation.
Oh God.
I've had confirmation on the pronunciation of the support for DINO's name, and it's BR.
BR.
Yeah, but it's a sound that we don't have in English, unfortunately. So.
Okay. Yeah. Look, there was always going to be one.
Yeah.
That stumped us.
Got confirmation from the Vietnamese team.
Those guys are great.
They are. Feel so blessed to have had the opportunity to have met them.
Oh, not to mention the fact that we had them living in the back of our heads for an entire broadcast. Oh. I've never had thoughts in Vietnamese, but I did for a day.
2 days.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They were so quality. The entire talent team was so quality over there.
No one will ever be able to understand, outside of those that were at that arena, just how atrociously piercing the Atakan sound was prior to the actual game day.
Yeah.
Able to fix it up in time, but boy oh boy was that a screech.
Oh, the Vietnamese people, we've learnt this. They don't do things quietly. They will do it loud. Keep doing it loud.
My favourite was, it must have been, was it the Saturday on our grab on the way to the Tiansun Arena with our grab driver just leading on the horn.
Oh, yeah.
Just making good use of that thing.
Oh, yeah, look, it wasn't even anyone around us at one point. He was still going.
Oh, man. Oh, and crossing a road. That, boy, I saw my life flash before my eyes multiple times. All the locals just tell you, look, it doesn't matter if there's cars coming, you just walk across and you'll make it. Oh, I'm not sold. I'm still not sold.
I don't know. I saw the faces of some of those scooter drivers. We're 6 foot tall and fairly stacked lads. A lot of them were dodging because I'm pretty sure they thought we were going to do more damage to the scooter than they would to us.
Yeah, I almost feel like we're lucky we're from New Zealand and we were at school at a time where bull rush was still allowed, because it was kind of playing bull rush with the scooter drivers.
My school was one of the reasons that it got banned.
Oh dear.
Good days. Quality days.
Many a moon ago.
Oh yeah. Many a patch ago.
True. And also, for all those watching, Vikings actually one of Panda's least favorite teams now because it's one of the only teams that he didn't acquire merch of.
Oh, I think they were pretty much focused about this series, honestly.
You'd think so.
I think they had bigger fish to fry. But it was good to see them there.
It was.
Actually, there was them in Talon that I didn't get merch from.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wasn't lucky on the gacha wheel.
And then I remember at one stage, there was a very skewed number of people at each of the stalls.
Yeah.
At one stage, there was no one at the Viking stall, and so they were just making TikToks.
Did you get to sign the Team Secret Wales wall?
I did, yeah. Got one of those little sticky notes and signed the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those guys are quality.
Got to sign the LCP wall too.
No, I didn't. I was too busy doing sound checks.
Yeah. I was off adventuring. Partially dying as well.
But did you actually die though?
No,
so
no.
That's the real question. See, you're fine.
I was terribly ill, and still I think crossing the road was the most dangerous thing I did.
I don't know, that heat was pretty gnarly.
Oh, it was. Speaking of, DINO bringing the heat to the Vikings. Somehow even in gold. I mean, Vikings just playing the map slightly better overall, and Guri with those 2 kills, of course, helping out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of plate W secured, having looked at that top lane. A lot of posturing. Tower does go down on the bot side with that Herald from the Vikings. A lot of posturing. Shogun very far forward.
Yeah.
The front line guys.
A lot of damage though. Tom Rhea's going to find his way in. That's the slicing strike. Cal trying to find his way back. The grand entrance is fantastic. And the Vikings will fall as Saigon DINO rampage through the team. Round warp there, but Kratos has managed to clear the distance. And this might just be Dragon number 3 for Saigon DINO.
Yeah, a little bit odd. A little bit odd there. I mean, Cardi, not really who you want frontlining, unfortunately. That hero's entrance by nature, you kind of just want someone else to be the trigger puller in this team, and then he comes screaming in on the backside of it. And then poor Shogun had the flash, but not the reaction time to deal with Beer, who just monsters have cleaned the stuff out of this Rakan.
Without flash as well, I mean, partly due to the extended range you get on that Xayah, I imagine.
No,
actually not even, he just finds his way straight in there.
Yeah, just runs in on his own, catches both Cardi and Shogun. And then the Realm Warp stack to chase down the team. And they are elated.
Oh, justifiably so.
Oh, I'd hold though. You got to remember, it is still game 1 of a best of 5.
And it's still far from over because, yes, they're on the soul point, but they still haven't actually found that massive of a gold lead.
I also noticed that the AC is set to 27 degrees behind them, so missing home, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah, how good was it? Out in 27-degree heat that felt like 40, that was awfully humid, and then you'd come home, get into that hotel room that's at a nice little 19 or 20 degrees.
And then going to the hotel gym where it's set to 29, because just you don't need a sauna if the gym's already that hot. Oh, it was a good weekend.
It was.
And I hope we get to go back next year. Actually, it's mean to say this. I hope we don't go back next year. I hope we continue the road trip. I hope we go somewhere else and then circle back to Da Nang.
Yeah, I mean, what would we be left with? Either Taipei or Japan. Japan would be cool.
Oh, it would.
More expensive though.
Yeah. That's fine. Worth it.
Massive gold lead in the support role, as well as, of course, Pout on the rise is the main talking point.
Okay, so it's not even the Locket for Xulong.
Oh, yeah, it goes for the Zeeks. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of immobility in terms of the carries in particular, so having a little bit extra sticking power does make it a little bit harder for them to maneuver, but you saw just how frail the team can be. If Beer finds another engage like that, without the defensive capabilities of either the Redemption or the Locket, you can find yourself in a pretty rough position. And really, no one yet this game able to find a way to let Shogun thrive in those fights.
Yeah, unfortunately, Cardi's just too far forward in most of these engagements, which means he's getting caught. The hero's entrance can't be then fully utilized.
Another tower claimed. They're looking aggressively as well as Kratos just strolls up forward, does flash away. It's going to get rooted up though. Pout not able to finish it off. It will come Sealong, 3-man. That's a shutdown going to the Rel. A lot of damage coming back onto Sealong though as Samba is unleashing on the Zaya, almost entirely untouched. On the other side, Shogun doing much the same. Shogun will get another double for both the AD carries. Oh, what a feather storm! But Samba has been taken out and only Sparta remains. And Shogun will reign supreme as the Vikings find an ace.
What an absolute masterclass from the Shogun himself, holding things down in the thick of what looked like an incredibly bleak fight. Every single member of Vikings playing to their absolute limits there. Unfortunately though, Samba, even in death, is able to finish off that Infinity Edge. So we'll be getting insanely hard in the subsequent fights. Artican going to be taken here. There's no one left on the rift. There are pings going down towards the Baron Pit. And you look at it, it was a great catch onto Kratos. They had so much damage pumping out. It was then Cardi who has to come in and try and save the team. He then looks to turn tail. Actually, no, he drops the ult and then gets into it. Oh, yeah, I didn't even see that. I saw it start. Okay, it's just a straight call for a Baron play off the Dinos.
Yeah, they are looking for, I mean, Shogun only picking up the 1 kill here, but the fact he remains up and was so clutch here out of Kratos on a slither of HP to come in, ensure Shogun doesn't get taken out after Samba very nearly just one-shots him with that blade caller. Double kill does get picked up by Guri, and you see the Vikings.
I know that haircut anywhere, that style. Oh dear, but he masterclass in terms of micro. Watching that fight from Shogun, just stepping in and out and flashes out of that blade caller from Samba to mean that he denies that last little bit of damage that would have tilted it over the edge. And is they then able to scrap it out with the assistance from Kratos. Oh,
back to life. Tom Rio on the wrong side of the map here is going to get locked down. Is able to survive for quite a long time, and it will come that gully, but Kratos finds his way onto the back line. He's taunted up though. It's going to be 1-for-1 as Samba claims himself 1 kill. Guri, half HP. Round walk coming down. Shogun isolated and alone. No cleanse, no flash, but has just narrowly made his way out. There's no flash to follow up on him. Still a 4v4 as things stand, but a lot of ultimates missing across the map. Samba, the only one who still has his. So definite advantage here in this skirmish for DINO.
They can draw this out a little bit. Guri's going to have his ultimate back up reasonably soon, but no chance of that.
It's going to come down to a smite fight, but Sparta tries to find his way in, and the smite's picked up. It's Beer that gets it. Now so much to do, but Dragon Soul for DINO, and they're away laughing.
Oh, they might be playing with a last-minute stand-in, but the Saigon Dinos, you'd think they'd been together all year with how coordinated they're playing. Samba slotting in, and Björk just, look, doing everything and more he can in this game. You look at it, it would look like it was going to be the catch they needed. Tom Rio in big trouble, caught by everyone. Pops the ult, flashes over the wall to get clear, but the damage isn't there to take him down quick enough. The Sundered Sky keeps him alive. The hero's entrance off the money. And with the public execution sending Kratos into the back lines, it turns on a dime, but what a smite fight from the support of the Saigon Dinos.
Yeah, not often does that support smite actually end up being the one that gets it, considering how much weaker it is than those jungle smites. But on this occasion, Beer here in his debut game in the LCP arena, making a look, making his efforts known to try and get themselves a spot next year. And Vikings now backs against the wall. Mountain Soul up against them.
And the Vikings, maybe a little bit of rust. It has been a while since they last played. And the Dinos coming in very hungry, wanting this spot for themselves. Vikings, maybe it's just a case of they're not quite as warmed up, maybe they're not quite as ready. To be fair, I'd imagine Dino's also suffering a little bit of that, not having their full 5 cores. So
yeah, not only
really
that,
anyone's guess.
Their league ended a lot sooner than the LCP did. Nonetheless, a great start to the series so far. They are down gold still. So Vikings not out of this, and they're going to start up this Baron. DINO need to respond, and need to respond fast. There's no vision. The Beer's going to come through and get that. Still, Tom Rio very far from the pit. It's just a free Baron. What a decisive call. Quickness comes through, but everything's being put down onto Sealong, who will be taken out of the fight very early on. In will come Shogun. Kratos finds his way in the back line. So much CC. Cardi's able to land a two-man on the taunt, but Samba's unleashed. He gets the Feather Storm off, and Shogun goes golden, but down goes the Zaya. Pelt now with so much left to do, but a lot to work with. Double kill coming through now for the Shin. Guri taken out, and Baron all but taken away from the side of the Vikings as DINO stand tall.
Oh, that stand united, meaning that Sparta can go play the side lanes and then get involved in the thick of a team fight when it comes to crunch time. And it's just these little margins of error that slipped away of the Saigon Dinos in that team fight. And it's far from a bad fight attempt from the Vikings. They just completely cannot stand chest to chest with the Dinos right now because they've got a big bite. It's a pretty scary prospect. I mean, you look at how this starts. Sealong takes so much punishment off the back of this engage. Redemption comes down on the team, but the Vikings' redemption really doesn't get all that much value. Hero's entrance is great onto Tom Rio. This taunt is completely nullified there. And Shogun, it's a great seekers from him. Samba does just try with that last bit turnaround, but it largely it's the damage coming out of Pout that means that Shogun cannot play that fight anywhere near him.
Man, Shogun played out of his mind, but just able to get that flash auto attack off from Sparta that does take him out. And with it, there is only that one Baron left. Gold now evened up, but the Dragon Soul, of course, that big talking point for DINO.
Oh, it was a 34 gold Baron play. Now it slipped into the negative, unfortunately. Not by a massive margin, and with a minute left, they should be able to just tip it into the positive through this mid lane push, get themselves a tier 1, maybe even an attempt onto the tier 2. The Dinos are happy to concede the tier 1.
Yeah, they're going to get one for themselves up on that top side as well, as Pout pretty happily just split pushing away. Of course, because you only have that one Baron buff, it's really hard to actually find value out of it because you can't really make use of it in the side lane if you are trying to push down mid now. Sparta playing very aggressively. Redemption comes down. Sealong does make his way out.
Out rejoins, does have that Zonya's, as does Shogun. Oh, Sealong though, again, has taken a lot of punishment in the lead up to this.
Elder Dragon 1 minute away. Shogun has his 4 items. Not quite there for Sambo, who's working towards a Guardian Angel. That recall gets it for him.
Gary, 4th item as well, that Edge of Night. Just on cooldown for the moment, but he's got 3k up over Tom Rio. You wouldn't think it though with how this game's been going for him. He gets to the fight, does what he can, but is then pretty summarily swept out as he loses a huge chunk of HP, courtesy of Pout for the most part.
Yeah, this Rise really scary at this point of the game. Not quite with the Rabadon, so a sigh of relief can be breathed by Vikings ahead of this Elder Dragon. If that item was finished off, almost certainly would be that tipping point. Now trying to fight for this mid wave. It is going to be Samba able to clear it out first. Cardi being looked at though. There is the ultimate available for Shogun, trying to go in with that quickness, finds way on the Kratos, but turn around to screen display a skill. That's going to be the Feather Storm going down. Magnet Storm comes through out of Sealong, and a great knockup from Cardi, 2-man taunt. Can we get Shogun in the fight? Yes, we can. Able to take down 1, able to take down 2, and Samba with the Guardian Angel up and available. Still, it's a 4v3 here, as only Sealong, rather only Cardi going down on the side of Vikings versus Beer and Tom Rio. That's no jungler and an Elder Dragon up. A lot to do to defend here, but Pout is so strong here on the Rise.
They need to allow Kratos to get the recall off Vikings. He's got the TP to get himself back in, but they just can't. DINO are just hounding at the moment.
Yeah, Shogun still not having that uptime yet. It's going to be Sealong taken out first. Trying to find that uptime here, Shogun, but he's not going to be able to as Pout is just ripping through those health bars. Defended the Elder Dragon for now, DINO do. And Tom Rio spawning in 10 seconds, and Sealong dead makes us a very scary prospect for the Vikings.
Oh dear. Oh, Pout and Samba, they're going to start it. There is vision in the pit, so very much no one. Guri can't afford to get caught here.
He is invisible. Elder Dragon started up, is going to be able to go back. Teleport coming into that mid lane here from Cardi, so Sealong the only one missing.
Kratos in the vicinity, but they might just have to concede it. They are. They're just going to give it over. That's a crazy call.
I mean, not much they can do in the 4v5 without their support, so giving it over, it's going to mean that Baron is going to be taken as well by the Dino, almost certainly.
Yeah, unfortunately, Cardi just too far forward. Flashes out, turns around to ult. It looks like it is going to be an opportunity for Shogun to run rampant here, but unfortunately for him, he steps too close to Pirate Smurf. And just watch, Shogun sitting pretty happy, about 70% of his HP. Oh, picture in picture, it's a death brush play. They were looking for something, but not to be.
And here, Sparta leading the charge, isn't going to be caught out. Shogun, because of this round warp, just running away, and it's finally when he comes in to try and join, but already Sealong's taken out. Look at the damage that comes through from Pal. That's one EQ that almost takes half of Shogun, if not does take half of Shogun's HP out.
Oh dear.
And will be picked up. Outside of Guri with a hero smite steal. It's now going to be a minute and a half of Elder Dragon when paired with this Baron. A potential avenue in for Dino to look for that end.
Yeah, there's no angle for Kratos. He hasn't got TP. So he's just going to push that out. And Vikings opting to tank test the next couple of minutes.
3 minutes of Baron. They have to try and survive for 1 minute. They can't fight. After that, maybe there's an avenue in where if they can find a good engage, then maybe they can withstand through taking out those Barons. But again, 1 minute still left on it, and this Baron is already cracking open the top side. The mid lane as well will fall. The base is going to be in absolute tatters. No wave clear to speak of on the side of Vikings.
Oh dear. Base is cracked wide open. Top and mid inhibitor's now gone.
Round warp comes through. Kratos going to pull the trigger, trying to find a way in, but Elder Dragon's still there for 34 seconds. Executions are almost certainly going to come through. Kratos toying with death around the side of the fight as Cardi finds his way in, but Tom Rio's the only one to fall for now. There's the execution coming through as Vikings try and mount a defense. Health bar still very high, and Sealong will be gone next. Grand Entrance is going to just go wide from Beer, but down goes Nexus Tower 2, down goes Shogun, and down go the Vikings as Dino take game one.
Oh boy. It sounds like a script from the same studio that makes the likes of Sharknado. Vikings versus Dinos. But that was never a matchup that a Viking was going to win. A T-Rex stands well above even the loftiest of the Nordic berserkers for game one at least.
Absolutely. I mean, what a clean game by them. The one thing they struggled with a little bit was macro, but even then, right, they were getting themselves the kills, every fight going their way. It was a close-fought game by Shogun. I mean, if he had a little bit more gold in his pockets, that one team fight at mid, if maybe he got some of those kills, could have had some more room to move in the midst of those team fights. But it was Palt and Samva, the friends, bringing it in from, obviously, hailing from Korea, now playing for Dino, that really got that one across the line, alongside Beer, who opened it up very, very massively for the
Oh, he was just such... I mean, you come into this matchup, you don't have your traditional duo, and he makes up that gap spectacularly throughout this game.
Oh.
And it starts with that tower dive onto Kratos, unfortunately just a little bit far from the play, and the Vikings, to their credit, really did put in some very impressive showings around the rift, and it wasn't until those objectives really started slipping away from them that the game spiraled in the way that it did. Because for the most part, they were being proactive. They were finding those openings. Unfortunately, just some big catches and some better macro positioning from Dino is what got them over the edge.
Absolutely. And one, I mean, also, the team composition for Dino was just so far superior, and it wasn't even close. I mean, what's the one thing I always say about both Rise and Xayah is they really like to be against low-range compositions, and it doesn't get much lower range than literally 4 melee champs. And only the Kai'Sa with any range, and she's, again, one of the lowest range AD carries in the game. So you really are providing everything that you need for success out of champions like the Xayah and like the Rise, and they really showed it this game. Samva and Pal finding all the damage you could ever dream of every single team fight. I mean, look at how untouched the Xayah is even looking for the assassination, not quite able to get it there on to Shogun, but still, this was the last fight that even resembled hopeful for the Vikings.
Oh, and this is where things just completely go skew with. They get the Baron. I mean, realistically, I think you just back off here. There's no need to fight. You lose your support. You then fully commit into the back lines and just allow Pout to go through every single member of this Vikings roster, all but untouched. You look at it, he's still got a shield up until this moment, flashes away, and then is able to just chunk out Shogun, finish him off with the help of Sparta. Nothing doing for Guri, unfortunately, as soon as that stealth ends.
Absolutely.
It's just proud, it really is. The damage that he is pumping out consistently, being unthreatened fight after fight.
Goes golden at the perfect time here as well to avoid what could have been a disaster if he does get knocked up by that Galio. Allows them to then proceed to play on. Last fight of the game, of course. Cardi, yeah, sure, you managed to taunt 3 people. No one's there to follow up, even if they were. With the Elder Dragon buff, there's no hope whatsoever there. DINO coming out of the VCS, going up against Vikings. No slouch of a team. Now lead the series 1-0. We're headed to a break, though. Once we're back, we'll have Game 2 underway. Can Vikings defend their spot?
Working hard to outrun all the ones that chase. I can't run fast enough, can't pick up the pace. People run towards love, kamikaze craze. Let's be real, some true lovers really just a face. Heard it all before, y'all just need a score. Don't want it anymore, can't take it no more. Love her, I adore, yes and I am sure. Because love is war, over and over, baby.
The blossoms fall, and the black rose rises. Do you feel like the heroes of this story? Coming to save the day. You're pawns in a game that's already been decided. You will fight, as good soldiers do.
I will seal you away once more.
Your age has passed, Darkin. Stay buried.
And you will fail, as mortals must. Your course was doomed the moment you left Demacia. And entered my world of thorns. Make your final stand. And see how your story ends.
Coming into this series, I had very low expectations from DINO, not because they weren't a great team in the VCS, but because they're not playing with that VCS team. But boy, oh boy, have they proved me wrong. The VCS commentators, they told me while we were over in Vietnam, they were like, oh no, this DINO team is likely to eliminate the Vikings. And boy, oh boy, I think even they would be surprised with just how well they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, look, a hell of a game won from them. To be fair, Vikings also played a pretty darn good game up until the objective control became the issue. That dragon stacking into a smite steal from an unsealed spellbook or a Khan from Beer was just absolutely absurd. So, yeah, I don't really think you can fault the Vikings all that much with how that game went. It was just a couple of 50-50s that didn't fall their way ultimately, which can be sort of that make or break point at the end of the day, and there's little you can do other than contest as best you can.
Absolutely. And Shogun rightfully getting another game on the stage. I think after that one, you can't really fault him. He was playing a pretty phenomenal Kai'Sa game for himself. It really was just, in my mind, largely a team composition gap. Of course, the early objectives were played exceptionally well by DINO, which is what allowed them to really execute on their team comp. There was no pressure around the map that they really had to respond to, so they just got to play a pretty straightforward game. But all these champs that want to go in and dive and whatnot, and you've got a Shen to help out if they need to, right? He was the most vulnerable on the team, and then you just have a Xayah. All these champs running forward in one direction versus Xayah is never a good way to find success.
Absolutely, and Vikings members taking just that moment to breathe, reset, as they will take the blue side again. Be interesting to see if we do transition that favor to red side picks the deeper we get into this series, but as it stands, they will go blue in game 2.
Very interesting. Very interesting indeed that we find ourselves here. Vikings, they're going to have to fight back. They're going to have to show us something. Unfortunately, not inspiring a lot of hope that game 1. Again, there were fights, they were staying even on gold. There were fights that were close, but every single objective going the way of DINO. Just a superior control around the map.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Be interesting to see what they turn to now, of course. With the
draft.
Yeah. I mean, there's still plenty in the pool. I mean, Cardi did play less of the linear stuff that we did see often. I mean, yeah, look, he still played plenty of the Aurora, the Oriana, the Victor, and the likes, but it was Hwei, actually, his most played champion this year by nearly 5 appearances.
Well, yeah, Hwei is an interesting champ. Feels very similar to Syndra in regards to it's just so vulnerable. It doesn't really feel like it has a place currently in just how League of Legends is.
Absolutely, just somewhat lacking in that identity. But as we go to the draft for game 2, Nico Vi, Wukong Jarvan to the jungle, copping some big priority. Rumble, the last ban here for the Vikings. What did DINO look to take away here? Maybe we could see, like I said, it's going to be Nocturne, so just 4 jungle bans, 3 of which targeted out by DINO.
Absolutely. A lot of jungles gone. I mean, Trundle remains open. Good, good, good. I was saying between the breaks, I hope we get to see some more exciting AD carries, and with the Yunara being locked in for Shogun, my wish will be granted, at least on the side of the Vikings. Now, a response to it could be the Corki for Samva. It's a champion that, as just a standalone, is very strong. Its lane phase is very, very strong. Of course, can be navigated by putting Shogun up in that top lane, but we'll see if that is what comes to fruition.
Corki for Samva. Guri, I mean, not really going to be lacking all that greatly in the jungle pool. I mean, at this point, you can just go something along the lines of the Viego or the Zyra, which he has played plenty of. Probably less the Zyra, more the Viego going to potentially come through, or the Pantheon. Gives him plenty of options to play with. Aurora comes out for Pout in the mid lane, potentially for Sparta, but I would imagine more than likely it's going to be Pout in the mid lane, which, I mean, you could take the Great Wall of Sparta here if you are so choosing. The Taliyah Pantheon. Look for that greater macro play, but of course, Vikings not always walking the well-trodden path. Any. I mean, this could still be an Annie Pantheon even.
Yeah. Yeah, Pantheon. Champion we've seen a criminal lack of.
Yeah, seemingly falling off a cliff coming into the promo relos. And oh, it's, yeah, okay, it's going to be the Lee Sin even.
That's more exciting. I'm happy with that. There's a lot of mobility being shown on the side of DINO, but of course, Lee Sin tending to be the most mobile. The Valkyrie is one tool. Sonic Wave, the Warthog, Safeguard, if you will. More mobility than the Valkyrie.
Absolutely.
What are we going to come through with this last pick? Could look towards jungle
Skarner.
and well, so
Okay,
Skarner.
so just Pantheon. Not at all. Interesting.
Something a bit tankier here for Tom Rio. Will have that ability to stick at that front line and soak up a bunch of damage. Will mean Shogun's job generally to deal with, considering Annie more of a burst champ, trying to find that back line. Second phase of bans. Supports and top laners are most likely what we're going to look towards this phase.
Absolutely. Cassante, Kratos' second most played.
I am sad not to see the Cassante. I like watching Cassante. I think he's a very fun champ. Even, to be fair, I had this opinion last year, and everyone hated watching Cassante except me.
That's why we're not seeing the Pantheon. The monster damage changes to his Q and W. Obviously enough to propel him out of the meta. So yeah, from 0.9% modifier on the Q to 0.75. So a pretty significant margin there. And then
yeah,
the
does
shield,
change early.
The shield vault cap from 200 to 120. So I can understand exactly why we're seeing a little bit less. And then obviously Lee Sin in 25-19 copped some love to the Sonic Wave Resonating Strike.
Yeah, and the changes to Pantheon make the early clear a lot slower.
Yeah.
Which is a very important part of the game, of course. Especially with just how aggressive we see junglers getting these days. If you are slightly slower, then it gives more room for looking for those invades. Mid lane can be pushed out a little bit, and you're still a little bit slower at getting up the top or bot side of the map.
Absolutely. Yorick. So again, top lane, popping some love.
Or hate.
Yeah, well, love in the ban phase, hate just in general. Alistar denied away from the Dinos, and it's going to be a Bard and Cork in the bot lane.
Which, I mean, scary lane.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Shogun likely to just hit up top, if I'm going to be entirely honest.
Yeah, it's the later stages of the game where that Tempered Fate really comes into play. We saw it against Saving O's. Just the ability to deny significant damage threats, and Annie not the most mobile. Yunara once transcended, yes, and Xu Long is going to pull it out After a good long while, it's been shelved. One of his most lethal picks in the support role.
Yeah, he's looked great on it. He's been explosive on it. Gonna pick it out here. Will be a really rough lane phase for the side of Vikings if they do go and opt into that 2v2, and Gwen gonna come through for Kratos. So another champ now that can really deal with this Skarner, but the opportunity here for DINO to look for that counter pick. Jack, something we see pretty commonly. We'll have a pretty decent time against all that aren't Annie.
Absolutely. Sparta. Only the one showing on Jax this year, but again, not a huge sample size. The VCS, and he's going to pull it out. It just makes so much sense in this matchup. And in terms of team fighting, Tempered Fate setup, in comes the Counter-Strike.
Cold Staff Jax.
Yeah, you've just got some great synergy here from the Saigon Dinos.
And I think this game, ultimately, won and lost at level 1, depending on what fish Sparta's able to pull up.
Yeah.
If he gets that 10 gold, it's a wrap. Who was it? It's Leona that does little for your information if no one knew, but Leona takes or does 1 less damage to anyone that's wearing sunglasses. So if you see Leona in your game and you have a champ with a commando skin.
Yep. Or Vayne.
Yep.
But if you're playing Vayne into Leona, that's a pretty miserable time for the most part. Does Corky's count as sunglasses? Those are just, you know, regular flight goggles.
They're like goggles.
They're not tinted.
I'm not sure.
I wouldn't have thought so. I mean, if it was like a Top Gun Corky, then yeah, because those things would be polarized, but no, just regular Corky.
Yeah, not sure. What if they had the niche interaction where Aurelion Soul E would just one-shot Leona because it's a black hole?
Yeah, I mean, look, there are, yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes this game just does not follow the laws of physics. But I mean, to be fair, anytime Aurelion Soul uses E, the game should really end because that's, you know, black hole.
Yeah. Yeah. T1 Bard. I think the first time we got. Oh,
no, we've seen it all year.
Seen it. No, we haven't seen it all year. It only came out a couple.
No, T1 Bard.
Oh, this one, yeah, this is last year's one, yeah.
We've seen it all year.
Through Pikes, this one's.
Yeah.
Most recent Carrier skin.
It's Taki that played it pretty consistently.
I've mostly forgotten those games out of almost PTSD, I want to say.
Oh, it's only the CFO ones.
Which were the majority of them, unfortunately. There was one really good one, and then he went up against Doggo and just
and
got
sniped.
Absolutely trounced. Happens, though, to the best of us.
Absolutely.
Well, the best of us. No one really gets, not many people get the opportunity to play against someone like Doggo.
The vast majority of the community, if they were to find themselves in a game against Doggo, would be on a similar position, yeah.
Way worse scoreline than Taki had. Yeah.
Yeah, credit to Taki to only keeping Doggo to double digits that game.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. I rate it, I really do. I think this comp, there's a lot going for them, for the Vikings. But
Skin game is a complete disaster here for Vikings. It is an absolute routing that the Saigon Dino will win.
Yeah.
I think every single lane, maybe barring jungle, is a skin win for the side of Saigon Dino.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like Skarner gets a little bit hard done by in the skin game.
Yeah, maybe we need a Meowick or a Meowrna. Cafe Cuties, possibly. Go the Urgot route.
I don't know. I'm quite sure. Maybe Roomba Skarner.
Or Gentleman Skarner.
And he's just holding a cup of tea or something with his tail.
A little top hat. Yeah.
Actually, I reckon that could get some distance. That get some good traction.
He just aesthetically reminds me somewhat of Cho'Gath.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because these beings with spikes.
Got like pincers.
Yeah.
Although Vorpal spikes is just a big pointy thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I reckon Gentleman Skarner.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it would also be a similar transition from regular voice lines to having...
I still maintain they need to redo Gragas Esquire to match the Gentleman Cho'Gath.
Yeah, yeah. The Gentleman Cho'Gath genuinely still just one of my favorite skins.
Oh, it is unmatched.
I think it came out in like season 3, I want to say.
Well old.
Back in the day where you were building Iceborne Gauntlet on Cho'Gath. It was a very different item back then, though. Bring back Frozen Mallet. I remember one thing, because this is when I started coaching and for the amateur leagues in Oceania. It was when it was the old rune pages where you buy the glyphs and stuff. Yeah. And who was it? I looked at who was the SKT top laner that started with M? Marin. I was looking at Marin's Gnar build, and it was just straight. Every single rune was attack speed, and then he would just go first item Black Cleaver into Frozen Mallet. And I started doing that, and it was very strong. In any case, we have made it through whatever was delaying us, and we are now into game number 2. DINO leading the series, of course, 1-0.
Yeah.
30 seconds until
Oh dear. Going into the game, DINO's having that lead. Vikings have it all to do here.
Yeah, really don't want to find themselves down to match point and forced to find a reverse sweep. This time around, decent composition. I don't think anyone's necessarily winning out, but there is a lot of pressure on this bot lane to try and even find gold, realistically. It's not an easy lane whatsoever. Assuming DINO don't just randomly get hooked by the Bone Skewer.
I think come teamfight time, DINO just edge it out a little bit, because Shogun, again, is going to have to play these team fights pretty carefully. It's the last thing he wants is that initial chip damage coming out from power. And then it's a pretty easy job for Samba then to come in and clean it up, because you're going to have Skarner and Jax in the front line just running absolutely amok. So
yeah,
it does become a bit overwhelming pretty quickly.
I just think it's even, ultimately.
Yeah, no, it's not by a massive margin for sure.
I think it's very difficult to deal with the Gwen if your frontliners are not there to help protect. We saw what a Gwen can do yesterday. Yeah. Seen what Gwen can do all year, realistically. Has been hit with the nerf hammer, but still a very scary champion. Just slightly weaker in the early stage.
Even then, and given that room to move and not drafted the tools to deal with it, just still goes completely ballistic in the later stages of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, by nature of League of Legends is you're pretty much always getting to 3 items before the game ends, and so that's kind of at the point where Gwen's gonna be strong.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this game transitions, because DINO's in the last game had some great macro control. No lane swap initiated into, so there's not going to be the avenue for a tower dive for Tom as there was in the early stages of the last game. The Kratos and Sparta going to be going at it. I'd say hammer and tongs, but it's lamp and scissors. Oh, what a cosmic binding.
Yeah, just not connecting on that phosphorus bomb though. So Shogun not going to take as much damage as he possibly could have. Does miss those minions though.
I'll enjoy it now. Because let's get to the later stage of the game. Oh. Okay. So that's what precipitated it. Flash being burnt by Samba as the Bone Skewer connected. And it is Hail of Blades Pike.
Yep, typical.
I'm pretty sure we saw... No, we definitely saw Sulong run Unsealed Spellbook on the Pike at one point.
Alright,
Again,
we are really misremembering. It has always been Hail of Blades.
No, I swear, because literally they were just running it on everything.
I would be willing to put money on. He didn't play it during the Unsealed Spellbook era. He played it during Split 1. We were not going Unsealed Spellbook back then. That was a MSI adaptation. And I do believe this is his first Pike game this split. Yeah, gets hit by the Bone Skewer, does have to flash. Being a little bit greedy, not going through that magical journey, but does get a lot of damage back onto Sulong, as will be Tom Rio down his bot side, but not much really to find.
Absolutely. But it is just going to be that ever-present threat post-6 that this Pike will pose. Kratos finds himself a bit of an advantage on the return to lane. He's looking to expound it, but Sparta playing it very safe. Oh.
Not able to get that grass proc. The most fun part of top lane, in my opinion.
Absolutely. even though we've seen some of them just beat absolute nothing burgers. Congratulations, you got like 1,500 stacks, but you're in Italy, so who cares?
Yeah, but it's still like you hover over yours and theirs, and if you've got more stacks, you won regardless.
Absolutely.
It's one of those moral victory moments.
Yeah.
Kratos doing a great job up in that top lane. Not less action happening up there than compared to the bot lane, where both flashes have already been burnt by DINO. I think Sealong doing a lot to carry through this lane, the precision he has on that pike.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I've just got it confused with all the times he played Nautilus, because they both throw hooks.
Yeah, yeah. There's, if you're going unsealed spell on pike, you should have picked something else.
He's also played Zillion support, so Sealong is
was
really a master of everything.
Did he win that game? They did, right? Yeah.
He then lost on any support the next game.
Sealong has been very fun to watch.
He's even pulled out the Elise. Oh, Sparta.
Oh, dear, that is not what you want to do.
Ooh.
Almost a solo kill coming through, and Tom Rio thinking he's got what it takes, but that's a lot of healing coming through here from the Gwen. Between worlds, though, Pout's going to be able to lock one down, so a 1-for-1 is the eventual trade, but a lot used by the side of DINO to eventuate it.
Here he is. Not far off 6, but unfortunately will not be able to turn it around and find that Dragon's Rage in time to turn it. Yeah. Yeah, it has been on one with those.
Sealong consistently just pressuring this lane. But yeah, I mean, obviously they didn't realize Guri was up here, because otherwise there's no world in which Sparta does this. Essentially just solo killed. And unfortunately, too much sustain, even this early on in Gwen's kit for Tom Rio to be able to finish off the kill. Luckily, Pout, walking all the way up to top lane, is able to finish it off.
Yeah. He's going to fall a little bit behind in the mid lane because of it, but I mean, a kill's going to make up some of that. Oh, again, just slap fighting in the top lane.
Yeah, but the early kill, Kratos getting out of the hardest part of the lane a lot quicker this game. Obviously still isn't out of the woods yet, but...
This big ultimate starting to come online for both sides, at least the top half of the rift. And yeah, courtesy of those chimes is going to tick over to 6 before Sealong can. We'll have that tempered fate to potentially look for play set up around the rift in ensuing moments, but far less priority around these neutral objectives this time around. Although to be fair, last time it was off the back of those scrubs spawning. So you look at the positioning of Tom Rio. He's heading up to this top side, as is Guri though, so it will be matched.
Yep, just trying to get pressure around and look to contest the grubs, most likely. At least lane pressure in favor at the moment of DINO's bot lane. Junglers will meet in the middle lane here, as Pout does have his between worlds back up and available. Pressuring Cardi down to about half HP as well.
Fostering for the grubs. Guri looking to be the one to start it up.
Yeah, is there really going to be no response? At least the first one's going to be picked up for the Vikings. As currently
he's held the smite, so they are going to look for a second, but Tom Rio and Pout are both here, both with ults.
He's going to get the second. There's no stopping that.
Yeah.
It does happen. Stun comes through onto Tom Rio. He's not going to be able to land with that ultimate. Down comes the Tempered Fate as well. Pout trying to find the damage. Is doing quite a lot of it. Goes back to the other side of the Between Worlds. So much damage coming down, and out he'll go, but Pout's taken out. Guru with the kick, and down will go the Corki as well. Hook lands onto Tom Rio, down and out. That's 3 quick kills for the Vikings, and all 3 grubs to boot.
Oh, that's so unfortunate for Sam, but literally the tail end of Pout's flight path clips him and knocks him up, ensuring a second for Shogun there. All the while, slap fighting for them top laners. You'll love to see it. Just doing exactly what they always do. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it could be a decent shout in. Tom wants to go for the Impale play, the Tempered Fate just missing there. and ultimately seals Tom's fate to boot. Does get the slam into the wall onto Guri, but he jumps out, kicks Pout. Look, just clips, lands literally at Samba's feet, but that is all the opening that Shogun needs, and a great bone skewer to pull Tom back into the range of Cardi. 3 quick kills and 3 grubs to boot.
A great position now for the Vikings, up 2k gold. Unfortunately for DINO, not going to be easy to come back from this. There's no outscaling on their side, of course. Still not really scaled, just accelerated towards.
Absolutely. Kratos here, looking to try and defend into the 2. Tempered Fate play could allow for something if they get support, but not going to be. Cosmic Binding, some great damage.
Yeah, even more. Kratos likely to have to look for a recall now.
Has the TP, but Guri finding much the same opening that Tom Rio found in game 1. Going to look to transition grubs further into a dragon as well. Bone Skewer from Sulong just hindering Tom Rio a little bit. Putting that threat, that front line there, and they've matched the bot lane duo into Sparta, which means they've got really no priority. Great Bone Skewer out and forces the jump from Sparta too. And all this set up from the Vikings to ensure that dragon goes down safely.
Yeah, first dragon of the game, but later than last, but nonetheless a good start for the Vikings. Also, with those 3 grubs now, puts themselves one singular objective away from getting themselves the feats of strength locked in here in game 2.
Good for Tom.
Could be hit by that hook, but he is going to be able to drag Guri into the wall. Dragon's Rage going to keep Sealong away from that tower, and will go Guri. It's a 4v2 down here, but at least for now, DINO doing a reasonable job of defending. Pout is going to burn that teleport to make sure neither of his jungler or top go down.
Kratos finds himself alone in the lane for moments with Samba, tries to get that damage out. B8 joins, they got a teleport coming in to join. Oh, Tempered Fate, here comes Sparta.
Out. Yeah, Sparta's coming in. Great timing on the Cosmic Binding, and that's one very dead Gwen. Samba going to be the recipient of the gold, even looking for a tower perhaps here. Not going to get all of it, as that plating will add quite a lot of resistances to the tower, but still, plates a kill. Sealong coming in, Cosmic Binding lands. He might just get one shot, does narrowly get himself out. The only downfall of Pyke, of course, is just how squishy he is as a champion.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great play here from the Saigon Dinos once again. Tempered Fate into the Cosmic Binding. Sparta teleports in with the counter-strike and the fight brewing again. This time it's Shogun trying to clear distance.
Yeah, Sparta gets hit by the hook and the execute comes through. Samba, using that barrier, gets himself out to safety. Tom Rio now left to defend the top tower. A close affair, but his Vikings coming out on top.
Cardi, meanwhile, finds some opening on his bot tier 1. Gets himself
Pout died.
Okay, I think that's probably why he's found that time alone on the tier 1.
Oh, Sealong, he's on a ward. Yeah, not able to get the damage, but Tom Rio will. So there's a kill going over. A little bit greedy with that recall there from Xiulong, which is unfortunately something that has reared its ugly head a couple of times.
Yeah, but he's not been the only one guilty of it, unfortunately.
No.
Oh, okay, so yeah, just boom, stun, and anything's classic.
Oh, even getting the flash out.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so this is why Shogun found himself in an absolute spot. The turnaround from Sparta, transcends, flashes onto him. Shogun then just flashing away with the slow.
Samba could have probably flashed earlier and actually got that kill. Holding on for too long. Back in picture. Pout gone down again, this time to Guri.
Well, no, okay, Sparta's been found again.
Unfortunately, back to live, and the same 2 people are dead as we saw going into the replay. Tower bot lane's going to go down. A vastly different look here in game 2 from the Vikings. Back to more of what we expect out of them, and coming in with a more even team composition does bode well for them.
Absolutely. They've got some real power picks in the respective roles. Another tower goes down. That'll be the second of the game for the Vikings, who are just dominating in pretty much every category on the Rift so far. 5,000 gold lead. 14.5 minutes is pretty darn good.
Absolutely. Ooh.
I think we even missed this. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
this is something else that happened. Oh, yeah, okay. So then we immediately cut to this happening up on the top side. This action all across the rift. Oh, tempered fate.
Oh,
yeah.
just. I mean, he was dead either way, I think.
Yeah, it was just a matter of drawing it out potentially. And look, they even look to take the Rift Herald. It has just been all Vikings all game.
Absolutely. 5k or 4k. No, 5, I was right.
Yeah.
This is the advantage. A massive, massive gold lead for 15 minutes. Near on insurmountable, really, at this point.
Yeah, especially
outside
with
of the other Khan spawn.
Yeah, oh. Yeah, smartly, I think, decides that he doesn't want to borrow that. Yeah, Artican going to be potentially that turning point, as it seems to be pretty consistently throughout at least the arena here.
Good stun coming out of Cardi. Does cost him his ultimate, but will be able to walk away.
It's likely to force a reset from Tom Rio, though. There's no camps up on the top side with Dragon spawning up. This likely opens up the second of the game for the Vikings.
Very well could. I mean, he's made his way down. Now, thinking otherwise of it, but nothing to get up there. So he is just going to find a whole lot of nothing. And again, Vikings winning, picking themselves up this Dragon. Not going to be contestable.
Yeah. Second item not far off, I'd imagine, for Shogun at this point. Saying that, Corky, Triforce done, working towards second item. So it's not suffering all that greatly. Herald dropped in the mid lane. Tempered Fate, the classic.
He did it too early.
Oh, just.
He did it too early.
A little bit quick on the trigger there.
Yeah. So tower will fall, unfortunately. Beer, while having a reasonably good game for himself, makes one pretty critical mistake. Now opening up the map hugely for the Vikings going forward.
Oh, yeah. Whether he panicked because he saw Guri coming in from the wings or whatever the case may be. A missed opportunity to deny a vital opening on the Rift.
Yeah, and just, I mean, a mistake that's maybe showing some nerves, considering it isn't a hard thing to time. You have quite a lot of time there to try and use the Tempered Fate, but nonetheless.
Yeah, I think it's more the fact that the Sonic Wave had just connected from
It
Guri.
missed.
No, it was on him. He had the thing floating around him. Either way, he was clearing the ward, so they knew Guri was there regardless.
Yeah, I mean, there was no threat on him, but nonetheless, I think, you know, reasonable to be nervous. Up one game. And still a lot to play for in this one. There is 5k gold still as the advantage. Hasn't grown at least, but the Dragon was taken, of course.
Yeah, there you go. Renan's done for Shogun. So he's going to be very happy come team fight time. 1600 the goal lead for him and Cardi in the mid lane even. That Shadow Flame is rapidly approaching.
Yeah, and with the team composition that outscales, unfortunately, it's hard to see an avenue in for DINO. They don't necessarily have split pushing power either, considering the Gwen will happily match the Jax from this point onwards.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it comes down to just some phenomenal team fighting.
Yeah, it's gonna take some crazy team
multi-man Tempered Fate into multi-man Impale into multi-man Counter-Strike with the Between Worlds and Samba. But really, are you going to find those opportunities? And oh, Tom Rio's been found.
Yeah, very tanky, but unfortunately, Beer comes flying in that mystical journey, and it wasn't too magical for him. Shogun is going to, Siulong rather, is going to miss that flash stun. It is going to allow Tom Rio to get himself out with the flash.
Preempted in a situation where he just didn't need to, unfortunately. Thought the flash was going to come out, and didn't. Tom Rio holds it, screams through that wolf pit, and then does blow it to get himself clear of Guri. So pretty heads up from him to hold on.
We'll be able to clear out this wave. But and teleport being used here, Between Worlds coming through, but Pounce all by himself. He is just getting one shot. A bit of a lapse of judgment perhaps as Cardi trying to be taken out, will actually fall, and it's going to be Sparta who picks it up. Now Leap striking his way across with the ward. Long does miss on that ultimate, meaning he won't be able to land the stun. Another ward there for Sparta. Great Tempered Fate trying to keep him available in the Cosmic Binding to save his life.
What a play from there. The support here for Saigon Dinos.
Not out of the woods yet. Long takes a big chunk of damage. Counter-Strike comes through. Clock Tower will fall, and Vikings really are just running away with game 2.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty familiar trajectory we've seen for the Vikings, where game 1 looks a bit rough, and then suddenly they're just coming out all hands swinging.
This was never going to work.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the play was. I mean, Guri holds the Dragon's Rage here. Does drop it to try and keep Cardi alive, but the angle's a little bit off.
Big shutdown was picked up there by Sparta, but only evens out his matchup, and again, just a massive gold lead overall in favor of the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, we were 5K clear at the 14-minute mark. We're rapidly approaching 7K now, so it is still extending out further and further. Artican time.
This could be the last opportunity for DINO to find any way back into this game. Is this objective?
They froze there. TP for Sparta should he choose to come up. He will have to at some point, but he's going to threaten the tier 1 in the mid lane.
Oh, yeah, 1v1 going on between the two. Very low health bars indeed. Tempered Fate is going to miss its mark, but lands onto the Artican. That safeguard does get Guri away. Teleport available here for Sparta. If he looks for that recall, he can join his team, while the same will not be possible for Kratos.
Things for the Dragon, though. So it might be where Sparta's looking ahead. Get that wave shoved out, give them some lane prio. Because Viking clearly angling for an Artican, but you see Guri and Cardi belaying to this mid lane. I think they want to try and cut the Saigon Dinos off at the pass and get that Dragon quickly away, and I think that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah. Being already set up for it a little bit earlier means should be a free objective for them to take.
Tom Rio's on the other side of the rift, unfortunately.
Long hanging around to make sure Artican isn't started up as well. Cardi can, of course, teleport up there if need be, but we can see that it is not happening.
All just posturing around the top side for the Dinos. Fortunately, they haven't got the quickest of Artican takes, so it's just potentially looking to bait a pick.
Yeah, stun comes down onto Tom Rio. No damage, though. Between worlds, Cardi's dead.
Transcendence out of Shogun as well. But here comes the collapse from the Vikings.
Yeah, Kratos going to find his way in there with the needlework, but it's only onto the Skarner. Mystical Journey going to get blocked by that Bone Skewer. Is there any health? No, there's not. Needlework will finish it off. 1-for-1 is the trade. Jungle for mid lane.
That likely seals the deal on Artican, unfortunately. Without Tom Rio there, you haven't really got much of a hope of smite fighting this at all.
Yeah, 4v4 for now, but teleport available for Cardi as he spawns. No contest to come through, so
yeah, they're just going to try and force the tier 1. So a great call, honestly, from the Dinos in response. Take what you can, get the objective bounty. Take some control. Opens the map up just that little bit more for them.
Yeah, but unfortunately for them, it kind of doesn't, right? They haven't really been past their half of the map for the longest time, and each time they are, it's not really that good for them.
Yeah, it's
Tempered Fate missing.
Unfortunately, just a case of get what you can in that situation. So they at least take the tier 1, claim some gold. Oh,
yeah.
Tom. Just, even if it hadn't been for the Ignite, he was dead anyway.
Now, 3 minutes away from what could be a soul, 1 minute from Baron. Vikings with the damage to be able to do that objective if they get given the opportunity.
Yeah, especially with that IE being done on Shogun. He is hitting crazy hard right now. So unfortunately, for Dino, the aim of the game is to give him as little uptime and fights as possible, which is hard, especially given he has both summoners. And that ult, Sandvar, clipped, but no real potential for a follow-up.
No. Again, Long making this pike work very well. To 5 the kills, and Still a 6k gold advantage.
The ward fighting. Most of this posturing the last couple of minutes has been over vision.
Yeah. Baron 10 seconds away, complete control over that side of the rift here for Vikings. Doesn't really feel like there's much that DINO can do.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's 2 items done for Samba, so I mean, if they can find a team fight with a bit of even footing, he is going to be pumping out some damage. The problem being is that he's still an item behind Shogun.
Yeah, the IE completed is very scary.
The second item there for Kratos as well means that Tomria realistically isn't actually going to have all that much uptime in team fights.
No.
I mean, you just can't count that tempered fade out though. One perfectly placed Bard ult can completely turn a team fight.
Very true. Not the most mobile of team comps in terms of at least the carries.
But someone agreed. There's always that little voice in the back of your head that says maybe I should hold my flash for the next fight.
How annoying is this lethality item? I forget its name now. It slipped my mind. Because only Pyke builds it, but just clearing wards as easily as he gets to.
Yeah. It's something sphere, I can't remember.
It's fine. I won't have to see it again until next year.
May not have to see it at all, depending on how the rest of the series goes. But if this game is any indication,
Now,
there's a
Hart
good chance.
played one game of Pyke, didn't he?
Oh, you know,
Hart
there was
did.
definitely a couple of showings on the Pyke last year. Or this year. Jeepers.
You're not there, not next year.
Last season. Technically not wrong.
Yeah, I guess.
We'll see long. He's searching. He's hungry. It's a continuous battle for lane prior.
Constantly going to Shogun. 3 items is completed here for Samba. So we'll have some damage, of course, but it's going to take a pretty heroic fight to turn this game.
Oh,
Fate goes
yeah.
wide. That's one big tool now missing. It's going to be very difficult to find an avenue in here. You see Kratos coming in from the side. Marking is Pout, but Pout's going to have a pretty rough time against that Gwen. Shroud down now for Kratos, though. That is a bit of a loss. It's a reasonably large cooldown. Sparta, well, he tries to find an avenue in. It's going to be blocked off by Cardi.
Oh, double control woods and a brush.
Oh, the flash forward is going to be flashed away from Cardi. There's no stun now on the Annie, but needlework coming through. They do get the stun down onto Kratos. A lot of damage coming down, but the Shroud is back, and the execute will come through for Xiaolong. This will be the Mountain Soul. Second of the series, second in a row. DINO can do very little to stop it here, as unfortunately they do lose their jungler. That is the smite coming through. Sparta's going to fall. Who else will? Great Q from Guri. He's going to look for even more. Flashes forward, slows there, and everyone from DINO is going to take an absolute beating. Pings on the Baron, but they might not even need it, as a clean ace with the Mountain Soul should lead Vikings to take game 2.
Yeah, I mean, at least 30-odd seconds before anyone that will actually be able to defend is going to be up and back on the rift. Tomrio can try as much as he'd like, but without that Impale to try and pull someone to the fountain, you're not going to get much, unfortunately. So Vikings will take a very, very commanding game 2, answering back in kind to their brethren from the VCS, tying up the series 1-1.
Yeah, absolute beating this game, and Vikings turn around from game 1. They look fantastic here, control the map the entire time. There was no avenue for breathing, really, out of the Saigon Dinos, and unfortunately now, tied up the series. It's going to be a lot harder for them to close this one out, and Vikings seemingly finding their stride.
Absolutely. And less elation from the back rooms of the Saigon Dinos, but realistically, we transition from best of 5 now effectively into a best of 3. Side selection will go the way of Dinos to start that off, but there is a lot of champions now missing from the pool.
Absolutely. Kratos doing a great job there in terms of that damage alongside Shogun. topping it for either side. And just, I mean, look at that board. It is bleak. We haven't seen one of those look this one-sided in a very long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the macro control of this game, and just every single part of the game was just dictated to. Unfortunately, the Dinos had very little choice in where they were able to go and what they were able to do. Oh yeah, unfortunately, getting up close and personal does meet the demise of Kratos.
Now, game somewhat breaking open at this point. Unfortunately, I don't even think we saw an Impale land.
No.
This game.
Whether by tempered fate or just the sheer fact they could flash over. Yeah, this kick was so egregious. Just literally ankle tap Samba there, knocks him into the sky. Dinos, I mean, again, they still made some really impressive plays. Just the synergy to get this lockdown onto Kratos and mean that he couldn't get away. And yeah, well, look, Cardi, one of the best ND players so far in the LCP.
Even here, I mean, Samba playing a little bit too scared, I think. Needing to really walk up and help Sparta.
Oh.
If he flashed a little earlier, one auto attack was probably the difference. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a Vikings montage, unfortunately.
Yeah, and he's a little bit hard to play into, especially with the Lee Sin. Just that setup for the Sonic Wave is brutal. Oh, the TP play from Pout.
Oh, this was
a little grim.
Yeah, I don't know what the vision was, unfortunately. Just most likely feeling a little bit desperate, I suppose.
Yeah,
Cardi takes
the one
beating
downfall
there,
of Cardi is without flash, you kind of just eat anything thrown at you.
Yeah,
but that is turned around magnificently onto Tom Rio, who gets slammed into the wall by the Dragon's Rage, denying him that magical journey.
And again, Flashes trying to land that Impale, but Cardi able to respond in kind. Tom Rio, despite being on that Skarner, is just made of paper.
Yeah, unfortunately. Sparta tries desperately, but kicks straight to the team. And look at the damage it does to Pout off the connection of his top laner. Courtesy of the Dragon's Rage, and then Guri rewarded for his efforts there. Just comes in, lands a slow, lands a Sonic Wave, collects onto Spear as well. Oh, the Vikings. They're not going quietly into the night. Not that Vikings ever would.
No, absolutely not. 1-1 now is our series. We're going to head to a break. Once we're back, we'll have game number 3 underway. We'll see you there.
Working hard to outrun all the ones that chase. I can't run fast enough, can't pick up the pace. People run towards love, kamikaze craze. Let's be real, some true lovers really just a face. Heard it all before, y'all just need a score. Don't want it anymore, can't take it no more. Love her I adore, yes and I am sure, because
The blossoms fall, and the black rose rises. Do you feel like the heroes of this story? Coming to save the day? You're pawns in a game that's already been decided. You will fight, as good soldiers do.
I will seal you away once more.
Your age has passed, Darkin. Stay buried.
And you will fail, as mortals must. Your course was doomed the moment you left Demacia. And entered my world of thorns. Make your final stand. And see how your story ends.
One to one now the score as Vikings level things out in a very, very dominant way. And so, I mean, going forward, unfortunately coming into the series, that was much of what I expected. And I mean, they had such a massive advantage in draft game 1. They didn't get that in game 2, and it looked like a completely different team.
Yeah, I mean, it was just hugely impressive stuff. The Vikings that we expected to come into this series, but they take a game to get warmed up, and they come out swinging in game 2 and tie it up to force us now effectively to a best of 3. But with a lot of champions removed from that pool, it does, again, start to beg the question, what do we go to? Where are those? Because there's clearly a lot of overlap in champion pools between these two teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Still smiles here in the department for DINO. Fishy Beer, very happy. Happy to be there, I'm sure. Now, I don't know. A lot of junglers just getting straight banned out, and I wonder if we start to see some of those open up as the pool gets more and more reduced.
Yeah, I think you'd have to, realistically, to keep denying that pool means we go deeper and deeper into the trenches of jungle picks. And I mean, while some of them do find success with some of those recent jungle changes, then, I mean, look, yeah, you can still go to something like the Pantheon, which, while yes, has a little bit of slower of a start, is still a very good jungler. Still offers you that macro control in the later stages of the game. A great frontliner. So, I mean, realistically...
Yeah. Guri actually a jungler that's pretty happy to go towards Zyra as well. There's something
the Viego.
to consider. Yeah, the Viego as well. Neferi too. So there are, at least for Guri, champions available that we've seen him on, that he's been happy to play. DINO are going to select blue side for themselves now. First time they get side selection of the series.
Yeah. I mean, again, the trend has been, at sort of this stage, it does flip to red side preference for those counter picks, but I suppose with the overlap in champion pool, we may see that it will be blue side priority for getting those big picks. Interestingly,
Talia and Azir just been left completely untouched this series. No interest in them whatsoever, at least thus far. You know, other big picks, of course, the likes of the Rumble has just remained banned.
Honestly, I think potentially a Vi, Wukong, leaving those open might not be the end of the world. Yes, one's going to go the way of the Vikings in response on that second pick, but it means you get the one you want of the two.
Yeah. Definitely. Then you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the series either. Neither team losing the series over this game just yet. Nocturne, Wukong removed. Vikings this time taking away the Wukong.
Okay, realizing that might have been the play, and they just want to clamp down, because again, like you said, Guri has a fairly deep champion pool. Will not suffer all that greatly. Orianna taken away.
Yeah, Oriana going to be banned in response, of course, again. You're good pairing with the Neferi, the Oriana Neferi. So now at least removing that possibility, as well as a champion Cardi has tended to prefer.
Absolutely. So Vi's still through as Jarvan gets banned. So Vikings might just send it here, and they will. Okay, so paying respect to Tom.
I imagine Neferi is likely what Guri's going to look towards, if not taken away here by DINO. Tomrio, considering he picked the Skarner last game, could even just look towards a tank again. Goes for the Trundle. So Neferi looking pretty good here, if Vikings did want to go towards it.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, again, Guri has deep pockets. May even be a case if they just have other things that they want to prioritize in the Scion for Kratos.
Yeah.
That is okay. That is the Zyra, but I mean the Scion. Yeah.
It is scary, but you do have the Trundle to cut through some of those resistances, as well as it's very hard for Scion to get a good ult off. If that pillar's up, you just go slamming into it.
Yeah.
So I like what we're seeing out of the Vikings so far. Trundle into Zyra doesn't seem all that fun to me. What are they going to work around it? Nico being left open. Yeah, very big pickup here for Beer.
No Kaiser, but
I mean, yeah, Nico's just Nico's just a standalone champ. It doesn't matter what you pair with it. You can even go for the Sivir here still if you wanted to, but I'd quite like to see something cool like a Caitlyn. Obviously mount through that Scion health bar a little bit more. Maybe the Aphelios we saw out of Violet. Looks pretty good.
Nah, okay, it cleared.
You almost said nah. You're so much forgotten that this champ existed. Yeah, cleared coming through here in game number 3. The Weird and Wonderful already rearing its head. A champion that we have not seen this year. So an LCP first in history, most likely for Sparta, but I guess in theory could maybe go mid, but not likely. DINO Whiting, it's Luon!
Oh, he's sticking around.
Luon in the arena.
What a champion.
This time allowed to spectate. Doesn't have to go through the stresses of playing, of which I'm sure there were many for him.
Oh, I'd imagine there were plenty when it came game day.
Talia, going to be banned away. Azir still remaining open. Other things we've seen. And LeBlanc yesterday was something that came out of Hongshou.
Yeah.
There are still the Silas and Akali. Silas is banned away as I say it.
Still on Azir.
Yeah. The Azir into Zyra though feels a little rough.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's fine. Israel banned. Leona stands out as supports a pick actually. Ah, there we go. The boring champ.
Yeah.
But again, it's a very good pairing with Zyra just because of the range in which you can assist with those plants coming through. Obviously, the slow comes through as well for Zyra, making it a lot easier to land that Deathly Flourish.
Absolutely. Caitlyn.
There we go.
Okay, so it is just going to be the Caitlyn Nico comes through. Does a decent chunk of damage.
Yeah, it does a lot. Has the setup as well, of course. If you do land that root, Trap can go down underneath it, but it is rather hard to land the root onto a Jhin, especially in that laning phase. Still a very strong champion here. And it's going to be the Ahri coming through here for Pout, so I mean, very much a dive comp. I mean, oddly placed Caitlyn after that clip comes out in terms of it doesn't go forward all that well, but I mean, you can follow up with the ace in the hole. There are avenues through, as well as it will just deal with that frontline tank, as well as many AD carries will.
Yeah. And Fiora.
Okay.
Hold on.
Long is going to be...
Okay.
No, Cardi.
Yeah. Cardi Scion. All right. Okay.
All right. The Weird and Wonderful has well and truly come out.
I mean, maybe a similar concept to, you know, pick at every single top lane you can to just whittle away at that pool. I wouldn't have thought so, but...
Well... I mean,
it does farm very well.
Fiora's a good champion to Kled because you can't really use the, what's it called, beard trap on a rope.
Yeah. Rope-a-dope.
Oh, dear. What is Kled's alt's name? Is it Scarl? I think it is. From memory. DINO bringing themselves out the Kled, and in response we get the Fiora with Scion mid. I mean, Scion mid is going to be...
It's just charge.
Oh, charge, that's right.
Yeah.
In all caps with a elongated A.
Effectively the same, just a battle cry and then running.
Yeah. Well. Scion mid, I mean, Pout is going to be completely free to farm this lane, but so is Cardi. You are not going to do any damage to that Scion with this Ahri. It is vulnerable, though, to the Trundle ganks on the Scion. So Tom Rio could look towards heading into that mid lane, but, I mean, the big question mark is always going to be this top lane, right? You've got Fiora into Kled. It's two champs we very rarely see. Yes, we saw Fiora recently in the Saving Oath series up against Inferno Esports, but in terms of the Kled, a big question mark.
Yeah, for sure. But again, if there is any time to pull out something like this, it's now in the Primarellos. Try and hold things down. Keep yourself in that competition for 2026.
And for a man named Sparta, Kled awfully fitting, it feels.
I mean, Pantheon's right there.
Yeah. But Kled is very much about what Sparta's about. Whereas Pantheon not as much.
No, he's not. He's just a liar.
He's a warmonger.
Yeah, but he also lies about everything he's ever done.
I'm sure the Spartans lied to get some places.
No, they just went places and then did stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Although, to be fair, there's no one that's been left alive to prove that he was lying, so who's to really say?
That's right.
Minions have spawned.
He's the most decorated member of the Noxian army, or military as a whole, I think, because he covers multiple different branches. Something about even a balloon corps at one point, I think I read.
What a crazy bit of lore this character has.
Definitely sounds like someone who's just a little bit overtired and under-caffeinated, who was behind the lore portion of that champion.
Yeah. Imagine if they tried to make a series like Arcane out of Kled.
Oh, there's a few champions like that that are just absolutely bonkers.
I wonder how old I'm going to be when the eventual Void one comes out. That's the one I want to watch.
I don't know.
Because like next is Noxus, right, from memory.
Yeah.
And then after that, I imagine natural progression would be something like Ionia or Demacia.
Yeah, Ionia, because it ties into like Yorick and... Because they're like right next to the Black Isles, aren't they?
Sorry?
Ionia, next to like the
I believe so.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's some crazy lore in there with Viego and all the rest of it. Oh, no, Skull, no.
There is Guri on the Zyra. We'll see how fast his clear is. So far looking slower than what we've come to expect out of Junja, but Junja is Junja.
Yeah.
Again, he's got a divine right to jungle. Not many can say that.
Absolutely.
One thing that's really strong about this Nico Caitlyn lane is that as the Nico, you don't get many of the stats of the people that you turn into, but one that you do is attack range. So you essentially, I mean, you do just straight up have two Caitlyn attack range champions in the same lane, which of course in the early stages she is uncontested.
Yeah. Oh, look at it, Cardi's just farming.
Oh no, this could be dangerous. Yeah, stun comes through, but Scarl. Sparta will be taking a recall here for sure. Actually,
got him.
Yeah, awfully confident. Yeah, in will go Xiaolong. A lot of damage coming down as Shogun's following up very well. That should be about it though.
Yeah, macroing that clone just crazy well. Just sits it in the middle of everything to make it as hard as possible to play.
Stun lands. Is the trap going to be there?
Tom's
no, it's not. No trap, but there's a lot of damage coming down. Shogun 1 HP. Xiaolong much the same. And Tom Rio looking for it. Sealong flashing to try and find something, but nothing going. As it will be the eventual kill, but who gets it is the question. We'll give it over. Oh, they executed it. It's fine.
Yeah. Just a fast recall, in all honesty. They do find the kill onto Sparta on the top side as well. A return gank there from Guri. Gets it done.
Yeah, very greedy of him to have stayed, actually.
Yeah.
Loses out on the skull, and it's a very long recharge time. And you have to get very close, and considering the health he was on.
Oh dear.
This trade is not going well.
Yeah, I think it's going to, unfortunately, just keep going that way. Oh, yeah, there you go. And Guri's behind the tower. It's about to go down. Oh, this is the replay. There you go. I'm that tired. It's been a long week. Oh, yeah, okay. So Samba actually trades really well until he has to reload. And that's ultimately what is his downfall. If not for the reload, they probably win that engagement.
Sealong making this a lot harder than perhaps it could have been. Able to dodge out of everything there, and yeah, Samba comes and finishes it off, but this tower ramped up. He'll also do the same to him.
Ah, it's just a fast recall. That's fine. Spider is very pushed up. Luckily for him, Guri is bottom side.
Yeah, I think he really wishes he was laning against Sion.
Yeah, I think he very much does. Oh, okay. He might just be dead here. No, okay. Skull's back.
We would finish off the wave. No jungler up here, so Kratos just pulling the wave. It's going to slow push back to Sparta, and he can use ultimate. Actually, no, he's not level 6 yet. So doesn't even have his own Sion-esque farm alarm.
Yeah. Kratos just walks out of it. With that band.
Yeah, level 6 there now. Sparta desperately trying to run away. Does have the skull for safety, but the Q, can it come through? Oh, just able to dodge out.
Yeah. Guri's here in the mid lane. Desperately smashes off the money. The charm connects. Thus ends the play with Guri gank in mid lane.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine a pretty boring lane here in the mid.
One that Cardi's winning in terms of farm.
Ooh. Bot lane, however, going exceptionally well for DINO, as Sealong was very aggressive here. Exhaust dropped onto Beer.
It was actually dropped onto Samba, who then turned into Samba, and then also got exhausted. That was a bit odd. Not seen that interaction before. Be intrigued to know if the exhaust transfers, but I doubt it.
Having a rough time, but still farming well, Sparta. Keeping up in that regard. Also, this game, being that he is on the Narf, that semi-global ultimate, can match into the Fiora well in terms of when she's split pushing, but will not have a good time fighting her.
No.
Ever. At any stage.
You can already see it with that CS gap.
Now teleporting in as Samba. Pranked.
Got him.
Now it's 2 Samba. Samba squared.
Sam V3.
Why am I not surprised?
Well, Vikings able to force the ult to the dragon. Unfortunately, do so on a ward. I have to say, Cardi running the right skin here.
Yeah, very much so.
Ready, aim.
Although I feel like it could just do with a touch-up. He's lacking the quintessential lumberjack mustache.
DINO's still really wanting this dragon.
Yeah.
No level 6, of course, for Beer, so Pop Blossom isn't going to be online, but much the same for Sealong, who does not have access to his ult either. Guri in the area, though, level 7. Trying to stop that knock-up. That's going to be a lot of ultimates used. Curtain Call, of course, coming out as well, as Teleport will join for Cardi. Very tanky on the Sion, and no one really to deal with him for now. Caitlyn as well, not able to get into the area. Ult forward for Cardi, a lot of damage coming down onto Tomino, but it is being returned here as Pout desperately tries to find an avenue in with that Spirit Rush, but unfortunately locked up. Headshot there. Samba, can he get anything at the moment? Absolutely not. But a great stun. There's going to be Sealong going down. A nice flash out of Beer, but he's going to go down. Pout desperately trying to keep him up. Beer walking away. Shogun, one more attack goes down. Samba will get another decimating smash. Can he get the quadra? Yes, he can! And the substitute comes up in a big way as Dragon down low, but Cardi will not be able to finish it off.
Oh my lord, what a fight and a half from the last minute substitute out of Reject Gaming, now joining DINO to try and make it happen. My lord, what a fight.
Wow, that was, yeah.
The charm. Unfortunately, Pounce still dies anyway, but saves his support.
Yeah, I don't know. Beer was dead 4 times on my screen and somehow limps himself away. And the fact that he does stops the ability for Cardi to finish off that dragon as well.
I just realized the literal last tick of that clone from Beer saves Tom from getting rooted up by the Deadly Flourish there. Literally, as it disappears, it connects and means that he's not caught, which means that he has a slightly better time. He's still very late getting that subjugate off.
These flash while Lee's Pouts have absolutely no way out. And he doesn't get the reset, unfortunately, for that kill there. Look at him. Oh, that one auto attack. It was mid-air. And Samba, all the while, just hitting away. Lethal tempo stacked up. Triple kill. One last auto attack just in range. And Beer walking away on that little health does stop Cardi from being able to do the dragon because that Q could just steal it away.
Yeah.
Oh. Skull there. Teleport also coming through. Sealong still going to pull the trigger. No ultimate here on this Alistair. That Skull going down, but Pout in the area comes forward. Ooh. Great usage of that parry. Scurry, if he was hit by that, would have been going down. 4 members strong in that top lane now for the Vikings.
Yeah. As it stands, I mean, Vikings
beats the strength.
Yeah. I mean, Vikings have it a pretty right time. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my, ace in the hole.
Collector is available.
He does have ace in the hole. Ultimate going to be used, though. Cardi gets himself out, but tower's going to fall. That is the feats of strength secured. A lot of gold as well. Samba roaring ahead. Last minute addition has come up huge here for DINO in game 1, and now looking to do so again here in game 3.
Yeah. I mean, some big play coming out of this literal godsend of a bot laner. Oh dear. An interesting spot for sure.
Sparta teleporting straight into 3 people waiting for him again. He's going to go mini form and is trying to flash himself away. Can he get back? No, he cannot. Unfortunately, this I just did what you did.
Yeah.
This Kled is getting put very, very far behind, and Kratos alongside Guri going to get some very, very lovely plates for themselves. Kratos now 1.1k gold ahead. Quickly now, it's becoming the Samba show for DINO and the Kratos show for the Vikings.
Yeah. I mean, that side lane pressure, we've already seen it through the promo.
Oh my god. Oh my god, the damage is so insane. That is a Scion getting dove without anyone taking as much of a tower shot. Just pure. So tower goes down bot. It's a big win for Vikings, and they are getting plates in the mid lane, but still another kill going the way of DINO up in top, and a bunch of plates as well for this Caitlyn.
Oh dear. Yeah, unfortunately, one of the worst sieging AD carries in Jin. Shilong's on a ward this entire time. Oh, kind of, not quite.
Oh my god, that's so much damage. Oh no, and this is going to be Shilong maybe going down. The pillar's going to be there. He does have access to the heal for that movement speed. One auto attack would do it. The flash is going to have to be utilized by Shilong to get himself out.
Oh, okay, he's just dead. Because you can turn into Caitlyn, remember?
I think it would have been an ability, but yeah.
Well,
I mean, even I didn't realize that Beer was there. And I have full vision. Ultimate being used now, but unfortunately, Tom is not the one tanking up the tower. Will take one shot, flash forward. Cardi looking for a turnaround. Pillar's not going to save his life. Samba makes his way out, does lose his flash as Kratos teleporting out to the top side. Man, oh man, this game is just all over the show.
It really is action upon action, which is what we've pretty much come to expect from the VCS.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say actually during season finals, and I think you'll agree, they really toned it down a lot, but here...
A lot more measured.
Sorry?
A lot more measured.
Yeah, for sure. Both. I mean, the two...
Green.
Oh, no. Perry. One more Q will do it. Pierre should be going down. Pop Blossom used to try and keep himself up, but Steelong being in the area means there's no way out. And will be taken out. Again, more gold for Kratos. And it really is who can carry harder between this Fiora and this Caitlyn.
Yeah. That's the thing. Kratos doesn't really want to be fighting into Samba at all. Just play those side lanes.
Yeah. Sparta, I think, realizing that, trying to... And maybe it's just what the cleared builds anyway, but he's building Titanic Hydra first, going to give him that wave clear. And does mean that there's less uptime for this Fiora on the towers. I actually wouldn't be too surprised to see her go something like the Hull Breaker second to try and dissuade, or maybe third. You probably want the Triforce, but...
Yeah, sure. Oh, they need to be careful. This Caitlyn's hitting incredibly hard right now.
Yeah, no flash though. So it's a very scary prospect to look to fight this dragon when all your eggs are in this Caitlyn basket right now. All it takes is one engage from Sealong, one knock up.
They've got plenty of those.
Guri happily taking away this dragon. Yeah, trying to find his way in. Pout will see that this dragon is taken exceedingly low as Tom's going to make his way into the fight as well. And Pout has been one-shot by Guri. Samba's still there, 4v3. But this is going to be a dragon going down and DINO headed for the hills.
Yeah, even with Subjugate, it just takes too long for Cardi to go down there. Oh, okay.
Oh no, the 90 caliber net is absolutely atrocious, but the Pop Blossom there to come in defense. Samba, 1 HP, it will be a blockage, but unfortunately he does go down, shut down, being picked up by Cardi, but in will come this cleared. Cardi's still living, and unfortunately Scarl now gone, stunned up.
Oh.
Deadly flourish, and that Shogun picking up one for himself as well.
Oh, that turns and turns and turns, and then in comes Kratos. Will help take this tower.
Tom Rio also on a ward, is going to have to leave. Kratos exceedingly scary.
Very much so. Herald's up and alive as well. Tom Rio up on the top side. I don't think they take it just yet. Guri. Yeah, I think they just hold off for the moment. But you look at it. Pout. Oh, just gets comboed. The assistance from the Dragon. The rest of the team comes in for the Vikings to keep Tom Rio stunned up. Means that Guri can secure that Dragon.
And Samba, 90 caliber net.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, does not get him out of harm's way. Just straight into that wall. Beer tries to keep him alive, but all the while Curtain Call hitting him time and time again.
Absolutely.
Not even taking out Cardi.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a clutch moment for Cardi. Staying alive with that shield, the Soul Forge. And they just take everything.
Still is a massive lead for the Caitlyn, but in terms of that overall team gold, it's Vikings who well and truly lead, largely off the back of Kratos on this Fiora.
And unfortunately, that is just likely to widen, given that there is less and less time that Sparta can actually spend up in the face of Fiora. 15,000 damage from Samba this game. Triple that from Shogun.
Yeah. It's rough. It's a rough position to be in. And very hard for them to find any meaningful engage onto this Zyra as well.
Yeah.
Pout. Being targeted. Unstoppable Onslaught comes through, but there is going to be access to that Subjugate. Does get it off. A lot of damage coming back. Cardi having to flash away. One more Curtain Call, but Pout does flash out of the range of that ability. Still Rift Shield now being started up and likely taken by the Vikings as Samba has no access to that pit. Kratos all the while taking out that mid inner tower.
Yeah, just looking to play keep away, realistically. All smoke and mirrors, and just opens up this opportunity for the Fiora to take more and more around the Rift. Herald picked up, and with not a single tier 1 remaining, it does mean they can start to threaten these inners.
Man, what a cool draft out of Vikings.
Yeah.
very clearly Sparta picking this Kled into the Scion, rotating that Scion then into mid, and giving this Fiora a completely free lane.
Yeah, easily one of the best side lane champions left in the pool. Barring Yorick, but
it's
a way to clear better as a solo skirmisher.
Oh. Cannon unfortunately will be missed there by Pout. Quiet game from him, but again he's just laning into a Scion. Not much he can do. He's building the Leandries, so going, or maybe, no, it should be Leandries.
Yeah.
2 items now for Samba. Has that Infinity Edge. Will be hidden very, very hard. Imagine to see him going for the likes of the Lord Dominance next.
Yeah, for sure. Second item done for Guri, who is up at the top of the XP charts. Well clear. Samba actually having fallen off somewhat in terms of acceleration. Two in the bot lane is the call. Ooh. Yeah, that's some damage.
Yeah, that's rough. Sparta now trying to stick at this tower, but with Guri there, so it's going to be another tower that falls. See if they're able to deal with this Rift here at the while.
Oh, Artican's the response.
Yeah, DINO looking for... Oh, Kratos crashed it. Teleporting away though.
Single lane.
Yeah, crashing it intentionally it seems. Trying to get back up to the fight. Sparta can answer. Pop Blossom lands, but it's only on the Sealon. Gets Manny Smash. Isn't going to connect necessarily that well.
Oh, wow.
And Samba's been found. Kratos straight in that back line. Pout nowhere left to run.
Wow.
Will go down as well. Stun is there. Gets himself the double. And Tomrio, unfortunately, will be left to his own devices. Desperately tries to run away. But Vikings are finding absolutely everything. And unfortunately, despite the heroics in the early stage of this game for Samba, I think it's Vikings who will pick it up.
Kratos with the BM. Just stands there, knows full well he's got a little bit of time to play with. His Pout stunned up from the parry.
Jeez.
Damage. And he should still get this. For a moment there was 3 Sambas on the Rift.
Will be a second dragon as well for the Vikings now.
Oh, it looks so good until it wasn't. And then in screams the God of War himself, rips and tears, removes Samba from the Rift, removes Pout, and all the while on the back line, there's only so much this Kled can do.
Guri happily soloing away this dragon. Everything, unfortunately, now coming up Vikings, a massive gold lead for them, and Samba's lead he did find for himself is completely dissipated.
Yeah.
Oh boy, he is aggressively positioned. Going to be able to put down that trap. It's going to land the stun, but it's only on Takati. Charm does go wide. Unstoppable onslaught here. Samba, he's in a rough position, trying to find a way out, but Kratos is straight onto him. And that's Caitlyn gone. Unstoppable now is Kratos. Tomrio trying to run away as the charm from Pout will help him ever so slightly, but Kratos finds his way now straight into the middle of absolutely everyone. Ultimate down on Tomrio. One more Q should just do it. He won't be able to find it, but the parry does end up securing the kill. That's a double kill now for Kratos as he looks for even more. That'll be another one. Cardi picks that one up, and down will go Sparta. Ace for the Vikings in game 3 for them as well.
Oh, You'd think that Kratos had been disrespected this game the way he's been playing. My lord. What a statement performance from him in the top lane. Oh, yeah, what a game. What a game from the Vikings.
What a drafting masterclass.
Yeah.
Having just completely eliminating Kled from the game, essentially. And it's why we often don't see champs like this come out. But you see the Scion, so you feel safe in picking it. Vikings say absolutely not. Rotate that Scion into the mid lane. Gives Ari a rough lane where she can't really make any progress, and Kled an impossible lane.
Yeah, I mean, we saw something similar. But it was the last minute Camille pick into Silas from Hong Q.
Yep.
Actually earlier in the year. This time, picking the Fiora saying, I'll happily take that lane for myself. You can go mid. Just sort of suck it up, because obviously you're into a ranged matchup, and Cardi honestly actually out-farms Pout for the better part of that game.
Yeah, Samba picks himself up a quadra kill, but unfortunately doesn't really find much success off it. It was one team fight going awry. 90 caliber net straight into a wall and completely routed. Vikings never seemed to break a sweat after it, considering a quadra kill came out at something like level 4.
Yep.
For this game to only go for 23 minutes is kind of insane.
Yeah, and they just repeat punished in the top lane.
I mean, even the lane is just going so well for DINO.
I mean, it's crazy. You look at the lead up to that fight. Vikings are actually winning the trade, and then unfortunately, Jin has to reload. The biggest absolute hamstring for a champion in this game is that 4-shot cycle. Samba goes for the quick recall option, gets the kill, execution, straight back to base, binds up and then returns. And I mean, this was just such a chaotic moment. Just fighting and fighting and fighting. And then Samba just in the back line. It just creates so much chaos that Vikings aren't really sure quite what to do here. But they ultimately pull that trigger, lock in and unload. From there, it's just very hard to bounce back. It was a level 6, there you go.
Yeah.
But if you just look at how low these health bars are, Samba just free hitting the entire time. Just getting shot after shot off, stacking up those headshots, punishing so heavily. I'm almost convinced Shogun forgot that Samba was there because Samba was standing under the dragon. Oh.
My, oh my.
Yeah, and it just wasn't enough in the end. Yeah, the full cycle from Guri at level 11. Pout's dead.
Yeah, just nothing to do, but this is the moment really that the game fully turned on its head. Of course, Kratos, I mean, was uninvolved in this anyway, and he ended up being that big difference maker, but yeah, unfortunately, Net not getting Samba to where he needed to go.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, it's you know, Uzi, his like go-to. He always played champions that had dashes in them. And Caitlyn, unfortunately, her dash is a little bit fake.
It very much is, yeah.
We see exactly why those dashes are so important in games like this. Kratos TP's in. Watch this. Do we get to see it? No, we don't. Thank goodness we don't get to see it. Because he gets the parry stun off and then just stands there. Looks at Pout and then finishes him off. Oh, and the pillar.
Oh.
Yeah, it was ambitious, but he's just too far separated from the team. Samba just playing out of his mind.
Kratos just takes absolutely no damage.
He took offense this game. I don't know what it was, but he took offense.
Yeah, he was not happy. Damn. I mean, I swear we just never see this Fiora champ lose. It just wins every single game.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it's only picked when it's a good opportunity to pick it, but boy, oh boy, does it dismantle some teams. Vikings now 1 game away from defending their spot. We're going to head to a break. Once we're back, we'll see if they can finish that off, or will DINO take us to a game 5?
Working hard to outrun all the ones that chase. I can't run fast enough, can't pick up the pace. People run towards love, call my crazy craze. Let's be real, some true love is really just a face. Heard it all before, y'all just need a score. Don't want it anymore, can't take it no more. Love her I adore, yes and I am sure. Because love is war, over and over, baby.
The blossoms fall, and the black rose rises. Do you feel like the heroes of this story? Coming to save the day. You're pawns in a game that's already been decided. You will fight, as good soldiers do.
I will seal you away once more.
Your age has passed, Darkin. Stay buried.
And you will fail, as mortals must. Your course was doomed the moment you left Demacia. And entered my world of thorns. Make your final stand. And see how your story ends.
And ladies and gentlemen, we get to this point, and most nights I say this could be the last time tonight, but we're at a stage now that we are coming back to what could be the final time in 2025. It is the Vikings who are up 2-1 to defend their spot in the LCP, and DINO with a lot left to prove.
Absolutely, and I mean, they've been no slouches today. They really have been putting it to the Vikings, and I thought for sure Samba was going to be able to carry it over the line there, but just one team fight turn, positioning on point there for the Vikings, and they shot him down in a pretty big way, and Kratos as well, just turning into this, well, I mean, his true form, the God of War up in that top lane.
Yeah, no, I hope they aren't too disheveled almost and are still willing to pick the weird and wonderful, because I think the idea of the cleared is a really smart one and kind of fun to watch, but unfortunately the ability for Sion to actually go into that mid lane up against something like the Ahri did mean that they weren't so clear to be able to pick it up right then and there. So going here into this series, this game, I would like to see them still have that confidence to pick something like that, to look for something a bit wacky, to throw the Vikings off a little bit, but just find a better timing to do so.
Absolutely. All you can do is try this competition. Unfortunately, though, it may mean that we don't get to see Style this series. Shogun is playing just out of his mind, even on a Jhin.
He didn't really do much on the Jhin. That last game was just, I mean, Guri, but it was very much just Kratos and very truly becoming the God of War on that Fiora. I mean, he just got to a point where no one was going to touch him outside of, yes, maybe Samba with some uptime, but he wasn't allowed that uptime as the collapse on him was just too good. Blue side once again for DINO.
Yeah, I mean, look, you might be a Spartan. You might be rocking Sparta.DINO on the top lane, but the Spartans fought for the entertainment of the God of War, unfortunately. So it is little more than entertainment where Kratos is concerned. But I mean, going into this, I mean, there's a lot, removed in the champion pool. Does open things up for those slightly weird and wonderfuls.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Guri's champ pool just still perfectly fine.
Yeah.
He still has that Viego, he still has that Neferia, which we've seen him absolutely pop off on. AD carry pool starting to become quite limited. There is the likes of the Israel there, the Sivir is still there as well.
Smolder if we want to go deep down, realistically.
Center as well is something that the Vikings quite often like to pick up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Lucian even has not been a consideration.
And Azir is there, but it's going to be hard for DINO to find the angle to pick it, because the Vikings, again, they were the original Ziggs into the Azir team here in the LCP, and they make it work very well. And it does feel like you're not going to want to opt into that matchup given the chance.
Absolutely. Absolutely, but again, you bring out something a little bit wild, a little bit risque. Maybe you blow the series wide open again.
Zed banned this time round.
And Zed. 3 junglers already.
The Vi will more than likely come out at some point. The Jarvan as well. Those have been the bans. Volley Bear.
Yep. Has been something that has been tried, at least recently.
DINO are going to get Jarvan or Vi.
Well, I think realistically you just leave both open.
Yeah. That would allow them obviously to get their pick of the two, but it would leave... I mean, you can just ban the Vi, give the Jarvan, pick the Neferi.
Yeah.
I'm sure these are the discussions that are being had right now by the Vikings. They go for the Lucian ban, so gonna leave both of those junglers open, and it's up to DINO to now take whichever one they want, or if they're willing to give either, no, they just take the Jarvan.
Yeah, so it should just be a Vi in response for Guri.
I mean, you could still, if you wanted to, go the Neferi. Both are perfectly
yeah, I mean,
fine options.
Neferi, Orianna.
Yeah.
Lock it in the first phase. I mean, not amazing into the Jarvan. The Orianna can be punished.
We saw that yesterday.
Yeah. But it comes down to execution, realistically.
It always does.
Right.
Vi
Orianna as well can work.
Yep. And again, Cardi likes himself a little bit Orianna. Partial to it for sure.
Even take away the Civi here to deny that little bit of extra safety that we've seen so consistently picked into the Vi.
Yeah, really utilizing the full timer here, Vikings, in this draft. Siva.
Yeah, there you go. So it means it's not an avenue for Samba.
What's he going to go towards?
Realistically, in terms of safety, you're looking Israel just because of that Arcane, or the Essence shift.
Arcane shift.
Arcane shift, yeah, there's a lot of shifts.
And
There's
then
a lot of
Essence
Essence, there's a lot of
fluxes
Arcane.
the W.
That's the one,
Yeah.
And Arcane Storm for Victor. There's just a lot of Arcanes now.
Yeah. Yep. All right. DINO. Talia going to be locked in. They're perfectly good mid laner. Will stop some of what this Vi wants to do as well. Does get that safety in the CRFs, and then Zhonya's later on. Second pick now, or third pick even, for DINO. 80 carry if they're worried about bans coming through, considering how limited that pool is becoming. And they're not, so they're going to go the Renekton. Blind pick up on the top side, but a perfectly strong one. Cassante can come through as an answer for Kratos.
Absolutely, second most played for him. So he's definitely got his licks in.
Yeah, I would expect it to be the Cassante, and there it is.
Yeah, there's just no reason for it.
Wow, you could say I've watched Vikings the entire year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. We worked it out. So up until your brief hiatus before we went to Vietnam, you had casted more LCP this year. But because you took some time off, we've casted the exact same numbers.
Even to the game.
To the game.
Damn.
Which also makes us the most casted duo this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've held that accolade for the last 3 years, I think, doing every single PCS game and now sharing it alongside you. No better man to do so.
I don't know. It's you make it hard sometimes. I gotta keep on top of things. Gotta put the licks in.
Make sure I don't end up in hospital.
Oh yeah, we got there in the end. Renata, Orianna banned out. Renata, yeah, look. Does mean that there's a lot of potential turnaround. Although between a Vi and a Cassante, you got ways to deal with it. And there you go. There's the Israel, which I mean, at least to me, is the, sort of the next safest.
Yeah. Now, what is there? I mean, you could go for something a little wacky.
I mean, maybe the center, try and utilize the Shroud. It's not perfect, but it's not.
You could go center Tarm, or anything Tarm at this point, but of course there are the likes of the Blitzcrank still open, which is.
Shogun's also played the Ornn bot lane this year. It was a wild time.
Yeah, it was weird to see that Shogun out of the two was the one playing the Ornn.
Yeah.
But Shogun's already got a Sivir, so.
Could be Sivir mid lane.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Lissandra! Okay.
Alright, Lissandra in that mid lane here for Cardi.
Would be the second time played this year by Cardi, so he's done it before.
Yeah. We've seen a couple. Oh my! Now that is not the champion I think of when I think, what should I pick against a bunch of point and click CC?
Well, I was gonna say it has been played. It did win by Samba this year already.
This is a really rough Samira game though. I mean, you're gonna be forced into Cleanse, but Cleanse does very little to this Vi, unfortunately. Of course, very mobile, has that reset. In
Braum.
The kit. Braum.
Renekton, Jarvan, Nautilus, Samira.
Yeah.
It does get some decent value.
Yeah. Doesn't pair the greatest with Sivir, but she does have an auto attack reset, so. Yeah, I mean, these could be the very last champions we see in 2025 for the LCP. At least domestically, of course, as we do have CFO, Team Secret Wales, and PSG Talon representing us at Worlds, as well as Garm and Vikings. Interestingly enough, representing us at the Asian Invitational, I believe it's called.
Yeah, you kind of hope that Vikings will get this over the line. It'd be a bit rough to be representing, but no longer in the competition.
It would be really weird, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Well, it happened. I think it happened to someone else.
Well, it's 100
Europe.
Thieves. It's 100 Thieves who have left League of Legends after this year.
No, it may not have been in
Worlds.
League of Legends, but something very, very similar happened in Europe.
I don't know. Other games, other schmames, I say. League of Legends is life.
Oh, it is. And not just League of Legends, but Teamfight Tactics and Valorant as well. Oh, they just do everything.
And soon 2xKO.
2xKO, yeah, I've had a look. I'm keen. It looks really good.
It does. I've always sucked at fighting games.
Oh, but we talk about games.
What is the one? Is it Street Fighter? The one with Yoshimitsu.
That's Tekken.
It's Tekken. Oh, that's the only one I've played. Tekken 5, I believe it was. And I pretty much only played Yoshimitsu. And I never worked out combos, but I worked out how to get onto my lightsabers and walk around.
Yeah, hop around. Yeah. Oh, Lord. That takes me back.
Yeah, yeah. I remember it was my birthday. I don't remember how old, but I got a PlayStation 3 with Tekken. Don't know why
PlayStation
Tekken.
3.
It was Tekken 5. I remember that much.
Yeah, and I remember Tekken 2.
Yeah.
Way back when it first came out.
I had Street Fighter EX plus Alpha on the PlayStation 1.
Jeez.
Was what it was called. And I remember I'd play against my brother, and he'd always use that guy with very long arms, and really frustrated me.
I want to say it's Guma, but I don't think it is. Oh, I can't remember. It's so long since I delved into that realm.
Skin game so far being won by DINO. And that's a whatever matchup in terms of those. I mean, they both...
Well, it's an old one. That is a real old one.
That's one of those funny splash arts where it's really stuck around.
Yeah.
And I think while there is better Braum skins, maybe Sealong helps even up. I think it's a pretty even skin game, ultimately. There's no big I do more damage skins in this one.
No, for sure. Sure.
Now, this mid lane should be a little difficult for Cardi to navigate without jungle assistance. Based on the range, of course, that Talia has, it's quite hard to navigate long-range matchups when you are on the Lissandra, but with Vi in the back pocket against this Talia,
you know what I've just realized?
Is there, very scary. What's that?
So, Sivir's glaive in-game is totally different to the one in the splash art. Like, the one in the splash art has teeth.
Right.
Yeah. I believe it's a glaive.
I thought it was a boomerang, considering her Q's called Boomerang Blade.
No, it just means it comes back.
You know what I was surprised by, going through the airport in Sydney, is that in duty-free they sell boomerangs.
Yeah.
Now, I would have thought that could be considered a weapon when getting onto a plane, but...
Only if you know how to throw it.
You reckon you couldn't just hit someone with it?
No, that's poor sportsmanship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, there's some weird and wonderful stuff that is just allowed.
Evenly matched here, the junglers, both going the same direction.
Also, I feel like a boomerang needs a little bit more room to swing than is probably comfortable on a plane.
Yeah, I mean, I've never tested a boomerang out. I'm not from that country.
To answer our production's question, you wouldn't throw it, you'd just smack them with it.
Very true.
Yeah.
We should have really forced him to get his camera set up to do a final wave for tonight, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he can make it happen. He's absolutely held it down this year for us.
Hasn't he just? A last-minute call-in at one stage, and
the super sub, much like Samba.
Yeah, I'd say he stood the test of time.
Absolutely.
Except he refuses to come to New Zealand.
No, he was here once.
Curry and Tom Rio, good flash away, but he is going to get locked up. Winter's bite, and that His first blood for Cardi, but in will come Samba, flash away. Everyone down here, absolutely. Well, it's just carnage, but no mana for Pelt, and Samba's going to get locked up, and that's 3 very, very quick kills going the way of the Vikings.
The aggressive flash out of Xu Long straight into the thick of Dino's reinforcement wave. Oh, just no fear whatsoever. And meanwhile, the honourable slap fight in the top lane continues.
Yeah, you really hate to be Sparta in a situation like this where your lane is just a big nothing burger and the map has fallen apart.
Yeah.
Now he's looking... Okay, this... Yeah, no. There's no proxying the cannon wave at this point in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it was a decent looking for Tom Rio, but he just sticks around too long. Probably could have just backed off at this point, but
yeah,
it's all blood in the water.
Unfortunately, it's just no priority in that bot lane to get here.
And then watch this, boom, straight in on Samba, straight in on Beer. Gets the concussive blows, chucks up the walls so that Pout and Samba are doing nothing.
Yeah, Pout no mana. I mean, it's just a bit of an egregious overextension, unfortunately. And these things do happen. The Vikings now leading by 1.5k gold. And really looking to cement themselves their spot into 2026. Of course, honestly, even if this game goes the way it's headed, commendations to DINO under the circumstances they found themselves in to take a game even.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll be honest, I've been really impressed by the bot laners we've seen come out of the Promo Relos tournament.
So have I, yeah.
Austerity, Fang, Samba now. Violet coming back in. He had a pretty alright time for himself as well.
For sure. I think the funniest bot laner while he's a support was Hettel.
That dude.
Because of how willing he was to brawl you as a level 1 support.
Yeah. What's that? You're in your own jungle? No, it's our jungle.
That guy just... Look, there's no other word I can use outside of passion.
No. He's just a he's just a sadist. He gets joy out of ruining people's days.
Oh, nice sidestep there from Sparta. Uses the ultimate. Kratos not having to use his, but unfortunately not going to be able to find the kill down here. Dragon was started up by the side of the Vikings, but with Tom Rio in the area, going to stop it up. Bacardi's going straight in, and unfortunately for Pout, there's no way out, and he loses the flash as well.
Yeah, unfortunate. Oh, okay.
Back. All out now does come through from Kratos, and it's going to force the flash away from Sparta. Oh, Samba! Some way, somehow, the bot lane saving grace yet again, get themselves a kill onto the Samira. And Samira as a champion, if anyone doesn't know, requires a lot of gold to be even remotely useful.
Sparta.
He's sticking around.
Yeah.
No mana for Kratos, although he has level 7 now. W does come through. Does he have an E? He doesn't. 4 seconds. Has to dodge this Q. The Q from Kratos is there.
Clap.
Oh, we saw Cassante banned away from him earlier.
Oh, it's just action on all 3 lanes. A quintessential VCS derby. Oh, and more action.
Pout loses his flash and cease and desist, I imagine.
Yeah.
Found its mark.
Oh, Tom Rio. That's what it was. We thought he was coming in for a lane gank. No, he came in through the service entrance.
Just barely able to get in range. Movement speed on that Sivir passive helping out. No E here for Sparta. Means no way out. Kratos finishes it off with this flash.
And then we're going to go into the next replay. Or no, we've got a bit of uptime, and then we're going to go to the next replay. What happened to Pout in the mid lane?
Lane swamp. I don't hate this. I kind of like this.
Yeah.
Though, maybe looking to match. As we do see Sparta getting his way down the bot side.
Some damage. I mean, not really anything of note, but some.
Tom Rio, numbers advantage up in the top side for DINO. The teleport there. This will be Long coming to join the squad. See if Samba's able to get a reset, able to get that ultimate off, able to look for that Inferno trigger. A lot of CC there. Flash forward. Stunned up is Tom Rio, and down is Tom Rio as Samba desperately trying to run away. Q3 will be blocked by that wind wall as Sparta desperately trying to find a way and trying to find an avenue for his team. He's in 1v3, but Beer will be here to assist as Samba desperately tries to do much the same, but nothing can be found. He's now slowed by this Winter's Bite, and again, tries to run himself out, will not be able to do so. And the Vikings, with the most dominant performance they've shown thus far, already up 1-9 in game 4.
Oh boy, they're looking to close it out here. All the while, Shogun down in this bot lane, getting more and more for himself, taking plates. 2 of the 3 grubs go to our Vikings. My lord, 10 kills so far this game. And around, it would be, yeah, the 9-minute mark, near enough.
Yeah, Cardi finding a lot of value here on this Lysandra. Samba able to get away with that Q3 thanks to the wind wall, and numbers advantage well and truly in favor of the Vikings, but Sparta, he doesn't give a damn. He's getting passionate, he's getting stuck in. He's not going to go down without a fight, but unfortunately, he goes down with the fight.
Yeah, Casante very, very keen on a scrap. We'll dive back in, and Samba sticks around, gets caught by the Vault Breaker and the concussive blows. Passive too long.
Yeah.
Pings, a lot of them just then.
Unfortunately, in a position now, DINO, where their season might be quickly coming to a close. 4K gold advantage. It's spread around every lane outside of a very, very small advantage for Samba. But considering already items are coming through, Kratos with that Thornmail.
It almost feels like, okay, oh, sad B, as Sparta goes for the wave cut again. It almost feels like a wasted Yuntal's game for Shogun, just because it feels like it's going to be over before he really gets the value out of it.
Yeah. Has a very late cull as well, so well and truly going into that insurance policy mode.
Guys, we're up 9-1. We're cleared by 4,000 gold. Just in case, though.
Yeah. Man, see you long. Sniper on the Braum.
Yeah.
This is... I mean, I like the weird and wacky, as I've said many a time. But I think we've cooked a little too hard here with this Samira into Vi and, of course, Lysandra.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, that's what it's feeling like. But again, that deep in the pool, you got to do something. And with the draft, there really wasn't all that many great options, especially with that last ban of the Israel. I mean, there were still look. There's still better options than the Samira.
Yeah, there's Jinx, Aphelios,
Senna,
Zeri, Smolder. I can name a couple.
You could even go AP in the bot lane if you wanted to.
Yeah, I was thinking possible Ziggs angle, but
yeah.
I mean, the Sivir deals very well with the APs is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Dominus is available for Sparta, so at the moment not under the biggest threat, but still, this lane well and truly tipped.
Oh, Tristana.
Yeah.
I think still would have been better than Samira.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, again, obviously you're at this stage, you got to try something. Dodging away, Flash is going to be there. Both top laners using it, but now Kratos sees Tomrio, but unfortunately nothing that can be done here for the jungler of DINO.
Oh, nothing like a long arm redemption. Just constant threats from the Vikings. Always looking for that continued turn of the knife, unfortunately, on the side of DINO.
Absolutely. Gold lead has stagnated, but unfortunately, it doesn't really mean the most for DINO.
Stagnating at over 4,000 gold.
Yeah. Gets himself the scuttle.
A win, morally if not numerically.
Will not have the opportunity to even dream of securing himself a blue buff, although Beer hooks in. Found a little dodgy, but he's alright. He's A-okay.
If nothing else, this has solidified the thought process to me that I definitely want to start co-streaming the PCS and the VCS, because honestly, they've been so entertaining to watch.
Absolutely.
So I'll be seeking that out for next year, I think.
You could shave your head and be the Oceanic Kevin.
Oh, no, thank you. I like my hair. And I feel like if I was to do that, I wouldn't be doing the LCP much longer. That guy has 0 filter.
Yeah.
Quality bloke though. He was absolutely awesome to meet up with in Da Nang.
Oh, absolutely. Getting us all some CFO merch, including production.
Yeah.
Very kind of him. Team Secret Wells as well, actually.
Oh, I mean, it's hard to pinpoint the fulcrum of which DINO could look to leverage something out of this game.
You just need a crazy fight in which Samira somehow picks up a bunch of kills, but unfortunately, again, against Vi and Lysandra, it's going to be very difficult to find said fight. Ultimate popped here by Shogun, trying to look here for Sparta. There's a Luff lockdown where he knows he's absolutely done for, so heading the opposite direction. We'll just drag Curry that slight bit further. He's going to go down though, of course.
Hit the tower. Oh, stunned. Yeah, unfortunately, the overwhelming amount of CC coming out of the Vikings this game is
overwhelming.
Yeah, well, there's no nicer way to put it, unfortunately. Flirting with the idea of a Herald.
Yeah, look, this
is
is
not
not
reciprocated.
There is no ultimate here on Guri. Cease and desist is not up, so Samba has a little room to move, but as the teleport comes through, Cardi will shut that down by virtue of just being a rampaging CC bot. Really nice engage, but there's no follow-up whatsoever. Down will go Tom Rio. Ultimate coming through from Cardi. No avenue in for Samba, and unfortunately that is going to be Pout and Tom Rio both getting eliminated.
Yeah, unfortunately. Just, I mean, I can understand the Talia pick, but it just doesn't quite have what you need to make the Cataclysm high value in these situations. Like, that was otherwise, in any other situation, it was a magnificent engagement there by Tom Rio. Gets 3 inside the Cataclysm, but there is just nothing to really put any damage out on top of it.
Well, I think unfortunately it's also just the wallet gap. I think you put any champion in that situation and nothing great's happening.
Yeah, for sure. Just go the artillery mage. Sit in the back line. Throw out lasers on Xerath or something.
Yeah, I mean, artillery mage ended up being a good pick, but obviously picking Talia prior to the Lysandra, you don't actually know that.
Value of the red side pick.
Yeah. I mean, again,
it does see it games 4 and 5.
Yeah, even in games 1, 2, and 3, to me, it just feels nicer to have that counter, right? Because there's so much available. So much of the tier 1 champions do counter one another, right?
Yeah.
Where you can generally be pretty happy to give over something in exchange to counter it. Even sometimes those not tier 1 champs become tier 1 champs simply because of the matchup you give them. I mean, again, you look at the Fiora. Became just ridiculously OP last game because of the matchup it found itself in.
Oh, Shelly. Just in with a plan. In with a grin.
Now, Dragon number 2 going down as all this continues on for the Vikings and continuing to expand on their gold lead. Continuing to take everything away on this map. 2-level lead in the jungle. Level lead for both the carries as well as that top lane.
Absolutely. Kratos, I mean, potentially, but probably unnecessary. You just let Pout leave and you could probably just shove those waves in, get some decent time solo on the tower.
Sparta again just very low, just permanently in this game living on.
Yeah, the ricochets not hurting as much as they could, but still
hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Samba had no room to move either.
Oh, 8 stacks left on the cull. You hate to see it. I think realistically it's probably an Infinity Edge done off the back of this. No, okay, not quite.
Yeah, isn't very rich, unfortunately, Shogun.
Yeah, well, I mean, comparatively, for sure.
Yeah. In terms of the game, if you compare him to the other team, he is, but in terms of his team, he is.
He's got, yeah, a quarter of the value that the mid and jungle have got. Oh, Lord.
But again, I mean, what a position to be in as a Sivir.
Yeah, where you're
not even really supposed to be
sit
that
back
good.
And chill.
Yeah. It all stemmed off that
all you do is hit the go button and let the team run.
For sure. One overextension early on in the game lead us to essentially this game state.
No fear out of Silong. I think realistically, Cull's done. He's got himself a couple of waves. Are they going to look for something? I mean, yeah, okay, maybe. Oh, no.
Ult coming through here. Glacial Fissure from Silong is going to force away that flash from Beer. He'll survive, though. And it's so sad that, you know, between every team we've been able to watch here in the promotion allegations, and we don't get to see them competing all of next year. Some teams we get to see more of than others, of course, but
I really hope, I really do hope that for the regional leagues for Southeast Asia, more opportunities do open up, because, I mean, for the likes of Inferno Esports, they put up a hell of a showing. Okay, all right.
Damage coming down. Samba looking to be one shot by Guri, but does actually make his way out. It's a big commitment coming through from Guri. Ultimate coming through here from Tom Rio, but again, there's no follow-up on it. Too low on HP are Pout and Samba, and Kratos not the same. He's going forward aggressively and kind of unreasonably goes for that flash, and I mean, sure he gets the kill, would have got it anyway. Sparta now left solo under this tower, desperately trying to find anything, but Shogun playing perfectly around that range. Will force away that flash, take that mid tower, and the Vikings just well and truly have this one in the bag.
Anyone would think that Dinos had rocked up to the stadium and told Kratos that his nan makes a weak cup of tea. Like, jeepers, this dude has taken something personally on the roof, and he is just looking to beat down.
Yeah, almost a one shot, not quite, but
near enough that it kind of doesn't matter going forward.
I mean,
look at this, every single member of Dino that steps up to the line is then immediately forced to get himself the hell out because they're about to die. And Tom Rio does, unfortunately. And as does this poor Nautilus.
That is the absolute definition of overkill.
Yeah, no kill like overkill.
Achieves essentially nothing, loses ult and flash, but I mean, I guess he got the job done.
Style points.
No, that guy, he's waiting. Maybe if there's a game 5. I don't think there will be.
Yeah. I highly doubt it at this stage, given you...
Well, there is an objective.
Yeah, but again, there's just next to no fighting power, I think, in this Dino roster yet.
No, very true. 2 items on the Samira, but again, it's just...
Nope, okay.
Oh, we're going in. It doesn't matter if there's no fighting power. There sure is passion as Shogun will get himself a killing spree. No damage really coming through. That's going to be Beer going down as well. Cease and desist onto Sparta, who can not get himself away. That's Guri picking that one up for himself and rounded under the tower now. Pout desperately looking for anything. Oh dear, but it's like a pack of sheep, and there's nowhere left to run as the Vikings will sail their ships and march on through Dino.
On one hand, in the free-for-all spot, the representative from the LCP achieves 4, but in the regional merit spot, Vikings prove that it was always theirs, it seems. 19-1, Artican taken, everything and the kitchen sink, only a single grub dropped and a single kill beyond that. Tom Rio, I gotta respect it, just no fear.
It is just straight up passion. Gets the flash away from Shogun. But I mean, Samba is just sitting there watching the whole time. There's actually nothing that this Samira can do. Fortunately, while the weird and wacky, again, I love to see it. In the last 2 games, it has not been to the benefit of Dino.
Yeah. And it feels like it's been somewhat of a quiet cardi game, but he's also 8-0-8, so he's just been there. But he's not the one like right in the thick of it. He's coming in the tail end and picking up a lot of these kills. It's just Guri and Kratos and Shilong just running helter-skelter.
Absolutely.
Oh, Cardi. Oh, Lord, the damage.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. And that's going to be Sparta going down very quickly. Cataclysm means, unfortunately, Tom Rio no way out for him. Pout, cease and desist on him as well. And that's going to be the Talia falling. The bot lane will stand, will still be alive, but the flash there from Guri locking down. Unfortunately, the Samira gets his first Inferno trigger off this game and is immediately culled. And I think it might be it, ladies and gentlemen. I think after 24 minutes, the Vikings, they will finish the job.
No.
Kratos will fall just the once, maybe. No, he will not. He's still looking for the kill. One more Q would do it, and Kratos will find his mark, and the Vikings will make their way back into the LCP for 2026.
No,
Oh,
okay. They've been forced out. Sparta did not get that dominance off at all in the last couple of fights.
They've held on. There's still hope.
Oh, Tom Rio. Oh, Tom Rio.
Passion again.
No Cataclysm, though. Oh, Spell Shield. Oh,
Blast
Blast
Cone this time. Pout on the flank. They're really looking for this. Samba, if he's able to pick up these shutdowns, maybe an avenue in, but Guri's just solo killing him. Inferno Trigger now there, but not able to find its mark. Tomlino got to be able to find his way.
Oh,
Guri,
no.
1 HP, but he's going to live. Oh,
the blue
disaster. Oh, no, it's so close, but unfortunately for DINO, they just have absolutely no gold, and the Vikings will eventually round it out. And again, get themselves back into the LCP for 2026.
Yeah, no, 20 seconds at least. Yeah, okay, it's over. It's over. Vikings, yeah, they hold fast with an absolute monstering of a game. 29-1 by the very end of it. And my lord, they got creative, they got weird and wonderful in only the way that the VCS seems to be capable of. And they will retain that spot in the very last series of our year.
Absolutely. Honestly, though, for the side of DINO, they came in swinging. That game one was magnificent out of them. Absolutely taking to the Vikings and proving that even though they come in with a bunch of substitutes, they still are a very, very strong squad. And it does suck to have to come in, not play with the squad you've played with all year, but an admirable performance. And Luon, he knows what this feeling's like. That 3-1, both yesterday and today. And unfortunately for DINO, that will end their run.
Kind of crazy. We haven't had a single silver scrape since the mid-season.
Yeah.
A bit rough.
We had heaps of them in mid-season.
We had a few in the season kickoff too.
Kratos.
Oh, that guy.
He can be happy with himself.
Very much following Kratos' arc in that, you know, bloodthirsty in the first season, sort of just a little absent through the mid-season, then comes back to be this absolute monster in the final split of the year. Much like the games.
Absolutely. Cardi. 12-0 and 12 to finish off on that Lysandra. An absolute monster of a scoreline. Part of 24 of 29 kills.
Guri wasn't far behind.
Absolutely. Shogun playing all 4 games, amazingly. Even their loss, what a Kaiser. And then see you long. Oh, it's good to see them back again. Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
It is good to see them back. It sucks to see teams like the Chiefs and of course DINO, even Inferno Esports saving us that we won't get to see them for at least a while. Maybe in the domestic leagues, we'll have to see how that thing all shakes out. But
no, I hope it extends. I want to see more of the likes of Inferno. I'll definitely be keeping a much more proactive eye on the VCS and PCS next year and the LJL. Just, I mean, it's very evident that there's talent there, but just how crazy some of these guys go on game day.
Yeah.
Has to be experienced live.
Absolutely. The Vikings, they will be once again returning to the LCP arena for 2026. Trying to improve on the record of this year, which was no mean feat. They had a perfectly fine season for themselves, just the nature of how the relegations work. Come 5th and end up here. Next year, though, the VCS can rejoice because they could very possibly not end up in this spot again. It could be one of the PCS teams, being that the regional merit will be split between which of those 2 regions get it.
Well, there you go. 80 games on the dot played by Vikings in this arena this year.
There you go.
I wouldn't want to do the maths on the win rate, but it was 57% before they came here for the promo rows. Just massive. And that's 80 games of just the Vikings. And you think that there are 7 other teams in that competition.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of League of Legends.
Guri is going to pick himself up that player of the match. I mean, just give it to anyone. Honestly, they all played so well.
I mean, I'm surprised. Honestly, it's not Kratos. Just literally turned one on throughout the tail end. of this series. But Guri, yeah,
and the Lee Sin, I mean,
everything. There is no one that wasn't justified in having a claim for that.
Yes, very much the same as yesterday's games, where DCG, you could have given it to anyone and I would have been perfectly fine. Much the same here. Guri picks it up. I mean, perfectly fine performance all games, perfectly good performance all games, realistically.
Yeah, I mean, just the Vikings clutching up when it really counts, and they've been known to do that in the past, so not really all that surprising. And this is, just where it started. Tom Rio season opening, Pout low on mana, but the reaction was just so much faster from the Vikings. And then Silong spots Zamba and says, okay, yeah, say, bet, let's go. And they just knuckle down and take themselves such a massive advantage in the first few minutes of the game. And it just does not get any better.
No.
They catch Pout off the back of Cardi ticking over to 6, and they're about to do it again. Unfortunately, we may miss it because the cease and desist then comes online for Guri.
And this was, I mean, the only kill DINO found, and even then it was awfully close to
Forced
not.
to flash away. Yeah, it was just a manhandling.
Yeah, well and truly was. I'm excited to see Vikings, though, now perform at the Asian Invitationals. As Sparta, I mean, it's the passion of this DINO team. They are, it does not matter to them how many people are around them. They are getting in there and they are getting real down and dirty in the fights.
I think one of the most impressive stats, though, for the Vikings this year, 80% win rate when they hit at 15.
Wow.
Which, when you think about it, 57% of their games, an 80% win rate on top of that is just hugely impressive. So just showing that it's only when they are under the pump that they actually struggle.
For sure. This game, not under the pump all that much.
No, they were the ones working the pump, unfortunately. Yeah. Just draining that well dry.
Man, oh man.
Oh, Tom Rio. That dude is just fearless. And it's exactly what you want in a jungler, honestly.
Absolutely. Kratos.
Oh, someone is entered as one of his ranked games. Like, that's the only thing I can think right now.
Yeah, he was not happy this series.
He was on a warpath.
There's not really all that much to say about these.
Hey, look, he's just like corralling them like sheep. He's like, yeah, no, there's nowhere to go. Just accept your fate. Come on. In you go. Into the blender. Oh, dear. Like, he really... It was like a man possessed. This dude was fighting his demons. Tom Rio just into the back line.
Cardi just one-shot Sparta. Guri does much the same to Pout. Silong wanted an assist, of course.
Yeah. No, oh, Guri just long-arming the Vault Breaker there. Oh, dear. Yeah, look, it's a rough road at this level of competition, and unfortunately, Dinos, they learn that.
Absolutely. And so that rounds us out for 2025 and gives us every team that we are going to see in 2026 in the LCP. Of course, CFO, Team Secret Wales, PSG, representing us at Worlds very shortly. And then it's GARM and Vikings representing us at the Asian Invitationals. And to round things out, DFM, SHG.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. There's a lot of stats you can find.
DCG.
Yeah. We've got some fresh faces, and I would imagine even more fresh faces because there are some roster changes that are clearly coming already. But yeah, there's some fun stuff you can find on GOL. They have a heat map of all the kills, almost exclusively for the Vikings. It's just through the river.
Wow,
It's just them men fighting at the halfway mark.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Statistics are fun.
They are. They are, and statistically, the Vikings were good enough to get themselves back in. And excited to see them again. I mean, Silong in particular, a player that's always very fun to watch. I think Guri as well, alongside him, oftentimes very fun. The rest of the team, they're more level-headed in general. You know, you don't see Shogun or Styled often looking for those Doggo-esque plays where he's just in the middle of things, but very consistent, as it is kind of the theme with the VCS AD carries. While the VCS team's hyper-aggressive, doing crazy stuff, their AD carries are always happy to play this role of, you know, backline damage dealer, finding all the damage they possibly could dream of. But, wow. It's been a year. It's been an absolute pleasure doing it with yourself, Blue Panda. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing it to all of you. Have you any final words to round out the year?
Oh, it's going to be a tough off season. You know, not having the ability to sit down and watch the absolute spectacle that has been the LCP. We've had some crazy highs, some crazy lows, but it's time. We've got to get around the lads. CFO, PSG Talent, and Team Secret Wales at Worlds. And last time, mid-season, CFO pushed T1 to a Game 5 and Honky Dog walks the Demon King himself. It's our year. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Please, everyone, enjoy Worlds, enjoy Asian Invitationals as well. Support our region, get behind them, because everyone knows we need it. The rest of the world look at us and still consider us a minor region. CFO, Team Secret Wales, PSG are there to prove them otherwise. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you this year of LCP action to you, the relegations, the promotions, OPQ, everything that we've been involved in. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, for this year, that is all from us. Thank you once again for joining us. Thank you to production. Thank you for everyone for allowing us to put this on, from FPT, VNG, and Carrie, of course, and Riot. We've got to probably mention Riot. But yeah, thank you very much. We'll see you all later, and please do get behind the teams at Worlds.
So dirty, jumper wet, so I keep it clean. Splash, splash. Hand down, man down when I come through drippin'. Back turn on the oop, I'ma catch him slippin'. Yeah, no look, don't look. Nay, dancing in the sky, boy, no hook. Serving up a big plate, what I just cooked. Yeah, that line got 8, pride got took. Yeah. And now you on a poster. They can't even coach you. I did it for the. I no look, don't look. Nay, dancing in the sky, boy, no hook. Serving up a big plate, what I just cooked. Yeah, that line got 8, pride got took. Yeah. And now you on a poster. They can't even coach you. I did it for the culture. Yeah. You know that I got it. Yeah. You know that I got it. Yeah. All this game up in my pocket. Bet that you can't stop it. You know that I got it. I want it all. Fight to the finish. And don't make you fall. Go back to beginning. You never seen this. Game is the meanest. You watch on your phone now. Can't wait till they stream this. And they watch it over and over. Over and over. Reporters can't approach ya. Your teammates wanna roast ya. I did it for the culture. Your teammates wanna roast ya. Did it for the culture.
Do you remember 17? You and I, we ran in all the same scenes. Always watched you, thought you never noticed me. Boy, how wrong I'd be. Do you remember 22? I was going on my own and just trying to lose you. But that night you called, you said